floors that they are competing on today. So if they're on the left-hand side of your screen with our wide shot, they're going to be on the right-hand side today. But our Neuro moderate division, the first to take on Shark Tank. That's reminding me of the movie Finding Nemo. Shark bait. Shark bait.
I don't know if it's necessarily shark bait, but you can't get baited into this. We have an increase by 2 reps, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 of thrusters and echoes on the calorie bikes. We're going to bounce that back and forth. And here's the end. The end is the 9 minutes. So it's not you have to get to this many reps. It's how many reps can you get, and it's going to be really fun to watch these guys really hammer it out.
Shark Tank, all presented by Tupood. And great to have so many companies getting behind the Teenage and Adaptive CrossFit Games of 2026. Vendor Village. Feels like a valley.
I mean, it might be in a valley.
It feels like a valley.
Might be in a valley.
It is a buzz with people and our vendors just outside where we are here in the main hall of the convention center. Josh D'Souza, Sundown CrossFit. And some familiar names as well. Austin Roth. Let's just get in. And George Simmons-Gooding alongside Austin Roth as well. Day number 2 gets underway. Our keys to success, presented by Tupood.
Look at that. Look at that word right at the beginning. Pain cave workout. This will test your pain cave. And it's one of those things where, like, you start off great, you think you're fantastic. The first 3, 4 rounds, you're in there. You're just really proud of how you're feeling and what you're doing. And then all of a sudden, you get smacked in the face with that lactic acid that starts burning. So you have to know that it's going to hurt. This is going to be a heavy thruster event. I think that's the worst part. The bike is just terrible anyway. But the thruster is where it comes down to. You need to make sure that you don't burn out in the first half. Get through the first 4 minutes and then hammer that last 5.
Austin Roth not messing around this morning. That Echo bike.
Alexis Sarah right there. You can see some of the different adaptations that they do for the thrusters. Thruster classically is hip crease below the knee, but what we do for our athletes here is they sit to a seat and then they have to raise their knees above the hip crease. So that's how we go ahead and modify for that adaptation there.
No surprise to see Lauren Taylor for our ladies.
Abby Wynne-Jones right to the right-hand side there with the glasses on. See, she's choosing not to use her arms because she wants to save that for her thrusters. So she's going to go all legs on the bike and then work the barbell with her arms on the thruster element.
And chatting earlier this morning to Jocelyn Karska, who didn't qualify this year, but more than happy to help the girls out right across respective divisions, testing different events and putting on her coaching hat instead of a competitive hat. Bill, you've obviously made that progression as well. How much harder is it to coach than compete?
It's always nice when you can control your own emotions and control your own movements and patterns and setting yourself up. It's very similar to being like a parent. You get to ride all the emotion but don't get to do anything about it. So if they're having a great day, you're having a great day. If you're having a terrible day, then you just get to sit there and have to deal with it. You don't get to change anything. So it is exciting. It is really fun. It's definitely a different side of the coin for sure. Is
it frustrating?
It can be if your athlete is not doing what you want them to do, yes. Why are you putting the bar down? Pick the bar up. So yeah, it is tough to do that, but again, you're there to support the athlete. You're there to be their backup system. You're there to be their confidant when they're going in their security.
Dan Long out of CrossFit Mendip. Hitting the 3-minute mark. This one's going to fly past pretty quickly for us. For the athletes on the floor, probably not so much. Kyle Harper also on the bike. Nui Bartlett making his way to the Rogue Echo bike. This is Shark Tank. And probably aptly named Shark Tank. There is danger all around.
Well, yeah, you just get kind of tossed into it, right? So, I mean, I think it starts off kind of nice. That's putting your toe into the water. You know, the first round of two calories and 2 reps, not a big deal. You get in there a little bit deeper. It's like, all right, I can see the shark fins out there circling around. When you get into that set of 6, 8, 10, 12, now you're surrounded by things that are going to eat you alive.
Petra Vanden Putten, Clowens, and also Heidi Ward-McGrath in lanes 9 and 10.
Lauren Taylor right there looks very confident coming off the bike. She's using her arms a lot, you know, for her saving the legs a little bit. We'll see what this thruster looks like here for her. Nice bottom position, way to get out of that. Locking that bar up overhead, looking really strong right here. And I love the pace that she's doing. Nice breath up at the top, allowing her to kind of keep that, I don't want to say keep the heart rate down, but allow her to get enough oxygen into the system.
Lauren Taylor already up to the 10 reps. We are halfway through our time cap, and there are the two ladies, Petra and Heidi. Petra from CrossFit Games in the Netherlands, and Heidi from SaSFit Masterton in New Zealand. Lucas Niven. And I love how the increased rep scheme carries on. It's not a massive amount. 2 to 4 to 6 on the Echo bike, you're not spending much time there, and you're straight back to work. Once you get into that 10, 12 realm, it's like, oh, it's going to sting a little bit more.
I program workouts like this for our gym and our people all the time, and I see it as I'm coaching it every single day for hours at a time. Everyone is fantastic for the first 4 minutes. You know, we just got past our first 5.5 minutes. This is now where it gets dicey. Now you're on the bike for a while. Now you're underneath the barbell for a while, and you have to think about how you're going to break that stuff up. The bike, you want to be able to move on it for sure, but you don't want to crush yourself for the thrusters, because here's the thing. You can always move the handles, right, on the bike. You can't always do the thruster. You're going to get to a point where you are just fatigued. You got to put the bar down, so you have to be really smart about that.
Mary Bartlett's winning last year in this division. Do you put increased pressure on yourself as you go from competition to competition? If you've won the competition last year, do you then place that expectation on yourself that, hey, I should be finishing first?
Yeah. I think that, you know, it's one of the things that you don't want to do as an athlete is put an expectation of a finish. I mean, because again, it's really hard to judge what the other athletes are doing, right? I mean, you can only do what you're going to want to do. And we talked about this yesterday. You know, you coming from your rugby background, me coming from my wrestling background, I can physically put my hands on you and stop you in that competition. Can't do that here. All I can do is move the barbell as fast as I can do it. So the expectation has to be that I am moving to my most maximum effort. I am moving at my most efficiency, that I've had enough training to get myself to be able to do about this many. If that gets me first place, awesome. But I can't have the expectation to be first place.
And the tough thing about something like Shark Tank in our first event for day number 2 of competition, you're not really sure where anyone else is up to.
No, not at all. I mean,
because it's an AMRAP, people are moving back and forth, thrusters bike the entire time.
Well, I think that, you know, you are paying attention. You can see where other athletes are that are on. See, like right there, Lauren's looking around, and that's the only real time you have to do it. The other thing you're doing is you're listening to the announcers and the MCs to find out where they might be or where someone might be. But that's the best you can do. Other than that, head down and just get to work.
Alec Wooden had a CrossFit crash.
Yeah, CrossFit crash. Mr. J.R. Howell's gym.
Andrea Unwin, the push-pull component of the Echo bike, absolutely evident this morning. We're down to 40 seconds.
Big battle right there with Kyle Harper and Dan Long. Those guys have been going back and forth. Looks like Kyle's just slipped beneath the lead of Dan Long. Dan over in lane number 7.
Sam Constantine with a very aggressive last set on the Rogue Echo bike. And good news knowing it's going to be your last set because you haven't got time to do anything else.
I'd go really fast if I knew I only had 10 seconds left too.
Lucas Niven in the background. And sneaks in that last rep. And tough going this morning already. Shark Tank. Gifted keeps on delivering.
I like it. I like it.
Lauren Taylor on the left-hand side of our floor.
Right? It's an avenue you aren't pigeonholed into whatever. It's an avenue to be able to move whether you need to go up or down. So I think that's great that he was able to do it. And he looked great in that event today.
Our lane assignments. Our gentlemen flipping sides of the competition floor. They are going to be on the right-hand side. Twinkle Toes on screen there, getting ready. Ross Austin. And saying yesterday, not really his jam, but look out today.
Yeah, I can't wait till we get a barbell in this guy's hands.
And our lower AK and lower BK, above knee and below knee adaptation for event number 1 of day 2. It is the third of the competition, is Shark Tank. Our 2 divisions separated by an empty lane for our females. Lauren Farhat once again, your champ, looking to back it up once again. And Shark Tank, presented by Tupu.
We have that increasing rep scheme by 2 reps of our push press at 115 for the men, 75 pounds for the ladies. And then we increase by 1 on the calories on the Echo Bike. So 2 and 1, 4 and 2, and continue your way up.
Elliot Crimp looks ready to go, as does Lauren Farhat. There we go.
Jeez, Lauren, okay.
Absolutely launching. How many people do you know that launch themselves into thrusters?
Well, I mean, I guess in an everyday scenario, none. In a race scenario, we'll have a lot more of those. I mean, a good honor for doing that for sure.
Things you don't often see.
Right.
There's one of them.
So again, our athletes here, 2 on the shoulder to overhead, and increasing by 2. You can see Ross Austin right there. We're going up by 1 on the calories on the Echo Bike. Lauren Farhat, no problem there. She goes on her 4 for the shoulder to overhead, making her way over to the bike and working her set of 2 calories on the Echo Bike.
And you notice that shirt inside her crop top that she's got currently?
So 2 things,
yes.
2 ideas, 2 things we can use that for.
One I'm thinking of specifically. You know what that one is.
Well, one could be just the fact that she's going to be bringing that bar down, or can bring down that bar pretty hard. So it's a little bit of padding there. But the other thing is, as you're getting, making your way through the event, start getting hot, start getting sweaty. You don't want to have that bar slip. So you can see there is a little bit of a controlled positioning of that bar across that front rack position. So it just allows her to have a little bit more control of that bar and not have it slide around.
Maddie Shepherd, another of the United Kingdom representatives here at the 2026 Adaptive and Teenage CrossFit Games. Welcome if you're just joining us for the first time. We have got a wonderful combination of thrusters and Rogue Echo Bike. And you go through combinations of movements. We saw it for the Masters, and there was thrusters and burpees over bar. We've got thrusters and Echo Bike. Is it a competition to see who can program the most revolting thing for a competition?
Yeah. I mean, look, there's only a small percentage of people that actually like thrusters.
You don't like them?
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. Not saying they aren't bad. I mean, I program them all the time. I'm
not a fan of them.
No, I do them. I will do my own programming. I'll do that. But the reason the thruster is such a nasty movement when you're looking at thruster. Now, granted, our athletes here are doing a push press, so they're doing the top half. We're looking at range of motion, you know, and for our athletes here, up the weight a little bit so that they're experiencing that time under tension, but a thruster is just the range of motion and the musculature that you have to use from being in a full squatted position to fully extended standing up overhead. That's just a lot on the body. That's why they're so gross. But our athletes here are doing a fine job, and I think actually the shoulder to overhead part is harder and more disgusting than the Echo Bike. The Echo Bike goes up by 1 calorie every single time. The shoulder to overhead, I mean, once you get past that set of 8 reps, then it gets really bad on the shoulders.
Morgan Ramos in the background, finishing off that set of thrusters or the push press. Ghislaine Schuler. I was watching in the background of the previous couple of reps of Ghislaine as she is going through her movement patterns and sitting on that box, lifting those legs above and trying to mimic the movement of squatting below parallel, but lifting your legs and doing the same thing.
And again, we have 2 different divisions here. We have our lower AK and our lower BK that we're running through. So you will see some of the athletes having that little bit of a difference depending on their division. So push press for one division, that seated thruster position for our other division, right? Just like Ghislaine's going to do here. And this is supposed to mimic that hip crease below the knee. So instead of the hip crease going down, we're bringing the knees up over the hip crease.
So let's talk about this movement for a moment. That momentum she can gain from getting off the box is going to be obviously a lot more favorable.
Well, I mean, the thing is that all the athletes that have that, when they're unloading, they're sitting their butt on the box, and then they get to have that swing up to it. It's the same thing that everyone's going to get. It's the same idea of a push press when your hips are opening up hard to get that bar up off the shoulder. So you're utilizing your whole body to generate as much power as it can. If you need to be able to, or you're able to have some sort of momentum with that, all the better.
Murray Hambrook continuing on, and Jose Aparecido Costafilo just behind. And some great pictures coming to you. Great work from our production team. I'm loving the 4-box setup where we can actually get to see exactly what's happening right across the competition floor. And there it is once again. Lauren Farhat, top right of screen. Ghislaine Schuler to the bottom right. Corbin Hart. Elliot Crimp to the bottom left, and Murray continuing his way, the top left of your screen. As Bill said, we have got 2 separate competitions going on. Our lower AK for our men, our lower AK and lower BK for our women. Cast it back to yesterday. We had a whole lot of athletes on the floor. 80, in fact, going through 2 separate events. Chewy, Anthony Gutierrez.
Yeah, I'm trying to listen to the MCs right now to find out just how far Chewy is ahead of the rest of the field, but he is your leader on the floor right there on the white t-shirt. We'll try to keep an eye on him, see where he is.
First last year in competition.
Nice decision on making a break right there, and he came down quickly. Now look what he did, short sets, short rest, and that's one of the things when you start getting up into the upper echelon of this event. So again, it's a 9-minute time cap. We're coming up on about 2 minutes and 15 seconds left. The object is to keep reps counting as much as you can. So the shorter breaks will allow you to take a shorter rest, and those reps will keep coming.
And Hannadi Samulovic getting to work on that bike and trying to wrap up the next round. Now, probably the only bonus and benefit of going through an increased repetition event like this one is the time that you're going back and forth, and your transition time gets cut down because you're working for longer amounts of time, either on the thruster or on the Echo Bike.
Yeah, it is. It's a very strange feeling when you are like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I'm done, just to go and do more reps. right? So your transition that's your reward. You get to get off the weight here, and you transition back to do more work as you're moving through.
Reward per se. Ross Austin and Corbin Hart to the bottom of your screen. Corbin finishing up that last thruster or push press position. Ross Austin, more coming for him. Elliot Crimp with no shirt on to the far right of your screen, and there's your leader, Anthony Gutierrez. Chewy, they call him, in the white shirt. Alongside Chewy is Giuseppe Ciulo. And not too long to go, only 40 seconds. Again, this one has flown past.
Yeah, it really has. It's really interesting. You're moving through, you'll get through the first 3 rounds in like a minute. And then all of a sudden, the next 3 rounds will take you 3 minutes. Or more than that, and then you get into like the last 5 minutes, you're like, wow, I did a round and a half of that. It's a little bit demoralizing, but that's kind of the nature of this particular style of event.
Katie Weymouth finishing up on the bike for the final time. There's not going to be much time to get much done with the barbell. Lauren Farhat in the background has led start to finish, launching herself off that start line straight to the barbell. And our lower AK and BK for our women, and our lower AK for our men's division. Now all wrapped up. Of the floor from where we are sitting, and you'll get your wide shot from. It is our lower BK division for our men. And Hilden Cavallo, we saw him yesterday post event number 2 and not looking overly happy with the way that his fatigue level was probably increasing. But I'm sure with a little bit of food, some water, and some recovery, it's a happy, smiley day again.
Well, I mean, everyone's smiling at the beginning of the day, but, again, we have our thrusters and echo bike we have to contend with here. So athletes out here on the floor getting ready to go, looking at what this is going to be. We have our increasing rep scheme, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and on. I mean, we heard Chewy went up into the round of 18. So thrusters at 115 to 75 in echo calories on the bike. So they're going to be making that way back and forth. 9-minute AMRAP, and that's what you're hoping is to get saved by the bell rather than saved by the reps.
Tristan Thomas preparing on the far left of his screen. Charlie Holford, Eddie Freitas in the black and green. Looking very similar is Riley Grace. Tagged him something overnight. I'm not sure if he was happy with the Khan Porter reference, but gee, that sounds similar.
I mean,
I'd be happy to be compared to.
I'd be pretty excited about that.
He's a good-looking man.
I mean, yeah, good-looking. Is CrossFit famous? Athletes up here getting ready to go again. Of all of the 2 pieces and the way this is set up, I really think the thruster is the worst part.
For sure.
I mean, the bike is always bad, but the bike is. You can only hit that so hard because if you kill yourself on the bike, then you're going to stand there looking at the barbell. So I really think it really comes down to the thruster, having to deal with that.
Los Credores, it is the crazy horse, Hilden Cavallo. CrossFit Park Extreme from Brazil. Our gentlemen getting to work immediately.
And just like that, we're through our first set of thrusters again, starting at 2, and this is what can lull you in. Into a really, really ugly place. Because it's so easy on these first handful of rounds. This is a pain cave workout. It hurts a lot, especially once you get past that 4-minute realm. So this is a very thruster-heavy event. Yes, the bike is out there. Yes, it's gonna, no one likes to be riding really hard on an echo bike, but it comes down to those thrusters. And if you're not moving there, then those reps just aren't gonna happen. You have to figure out a way to keep yourself moving all the way through. Don't burn yourself out on the set of the thrusters. Don't burn yourself out in that first 5 minutes, because that last 4 is going to be painful. Ray Kendall right there and Chappie Hunter in the front of your screen. That right there is Kendall. Looks really strong on those handles. It's really interesting when you can see some of these athletes, the taller athletes, those handles on that Echo bike look like they're really low and down at the hips versus some of the shorter athletes. There's Hilden Carvalho right there on the left-hand side. Has that yellow tank top on. Luca right there in the green shirt just up in front of him. Again, then I like the way he's set up on the Echo bike. Very calm. I mean, he's moving, but he's not trying to kill himself on the bike. Again, I really think the hard part for all the athletes is the thruster, because you're either going to make the lift or you're not. The bike, you can always roll the bike. Bruno Rodriguez, again, you can see him working singles through this set. 115 pounds here for our men. Taking a nice wide stance. I like that he's doing that to allow himself to get down to depth, but not down past any further than he needs to go. You know, the standard is hip crease below the knee, but there's really no reason to go any lower than that. So he takes that wide stance, gets to that standard depth, hip crease right below the knee there, and then use that big, powerful hip opening to help him get that barbell off his shoulder.
Not the first time this week we've seen that wide squatting stance from athletes here on the competition floor.
It's a smart move. It's a smart move.
Noah Olsen.
I may have told a handful of people to do that myself, you know, when I'm coaching athletes.
We saw Noah Olsen do that for the final event for the Masters competition, just to limit the time and the range and make things easier.
You know, you race to the standard. You don't have to, you don't get points for going above and beyond the standard, but you race to the standard. So if it's hip crease below the knee, just get the hip crease below the knee, not 8 inches past the knee. You don't have to do that. Charlie Holford right there, setting up, getting ready to go with his thruster. There he goes, great depth. He's getting right to that line. Takes a couple of snaps at the rep count there.
And that's another good point to think about. Where do you rest and how long do you rest for?
Well, you know, I say it all the time when I'm coaching in a class or when I'm talking to my athletes. Short sets, short rest. If you take a big set, that's fine, but usually, you know, to get to that big set, you're going to be so fatigued, so it's a long rest. If you have to do singles, fine. I mean, I feel bad for Charlie Holford down in the bottom left, because he is doing, basically, he's doing clusters, a squat, clean, and a thruster. You know, so if you can keep that bar in that front rack position and get a couple more reps out of it, that's going to be huge for him.
Well, he just backed up a double then, which was important. Ray Kendall, top right, Chappie Hunter. Great battle with those two yesterday. That battle continues today. Shark Tank, the first event of our second day of competition, our third of the competition. There's Luca Bonomo getting that event win in the first event yesterday morning. Alameda was the first event for the adaptive divisions. For the teenagers, it was the row reboot. They flipped things around for the afternoon.
Chappie working through that hip crease, or that knee above the hip crease here. We see that modification. Riley Grace on the left-hand side of your screen in the black shirt. Hilden Carvalho, Crazy Horse himself, in the yellow tank top. We have a hand up in the air. We're coming up on about 3 minutes, just a little more than 3 minutes left here. Hilden sees that Riley, it moves himself and makes himself back to the bike. Waiting to see if we can get confirmation on what round these guys are on. Just got confirmation that Riley, Grayson, and Hilden are into their set of 12. So now this is where it starts to get dicey. I mean, okay, 10 was bad, 12 is really bad. Now you need to be smart about how you're breaking this up. Not just so much can you do the reps, but what's a good number so that I can get through this set. If you can handle sets of like 3 and take a short break, fine. If it's only 2, and that may be what you want to do, don't want to be doing singles. If that's the case, you need to really concentrate on your rest.
Riley Grace doing his best to look over and see exactly what Hilden was up to. But you probably nailed it with getting back to the thruster. How many reps do you do? And I know during workouts like Fran in your affiliate, there is so many opportunities to rest, to chalk, to drink water, to give yourself
people take those. People take those opportunities. I don't think that there are those opportunities. People take those opportunities.
If they weren't opportunities, people wouldn't take them.
Right.
But there is opportunities for them to take extended breaks and probably longer than they should. How do you minimize that when you've only got 9 minutes in total?
Look, we call that separating yourself or disengaging from the workout. You cannot move away from your bar. You cannot step away from the bar. So we see the guys on the bikes, they're on the bike. Just get going on the bike. But when you come over to the barbell, especially in this event, do not step away from the bar. You stay right there. Your feet are planted right in the position that you would use if you were actually moving the bar. That's what's important. And the reason you do that is because when you're there, there's just this forward momentum. The second you step away from it, there's almost a sigh of relief. I get to rest as I'm recovering and I'm resting, and you float away in the matter of all that pain. So you don't want to do that. Stay right in there, stay in the game. The second you think, you are like, okay, I'm thinking anything other than grab that barbell.
I just love the pain in your voice as you said that.
You've
been coaching too long.
I tell people that all the time. It's like for this right here, it's 9 minutes long. If that's one of the workouts that you have in your gym, if you are getting water in the middle of a 9-minute workout, you don't need water. You're just trying to justify. You're justifying your rest. Yeah.
Riley Grace from CrossFit Verge in Brisbane, Australia. We've seen Riley in the Oceania region compete so many times. The good news for Riley Grace is that he is done with his cows, and Hilden Cavallo, who's trying to catch up, but Riley Grace, yes,
fired
there
up.
It is.
That's
there
what Riley Grace is. Riley Grace is fired up.
And Sir Lancelot continuing his progress. A great result yesterday in the row reboots. We got the other one as well. And Cameron Whitaker. He just continues to amaze the things he can do.
He's a beast of a man. I'm just going to say it. He's a beast of a man. You put anything in that guy's hands, and he just, we talked about it yesterday. There's a level of reckless abandon. But what's crazy is he has the capacity that he has with that reckless abandon. Like, he does not stop until the buzzer stops. It's wild. Doesn't matter if he's pulling a cable, lifting a weight, moving an object. You get it in his hands, and that guy is just a juggernaut.
Athletes waiting patiently to get things underway. 2 events today, 2 events yesterday and 2 to come tomorrow. We crown our top 3 in each division. This is our seeded 3 division on screen right now. Shoulder press and echo calories, and that empty barbell 2 years ago in San Antonio. Cam Whitaker, almost 350 reps complete.
I mean, the thing that in this particular event for Cam Whitaker, I almost want him to hurry up and get to the set of 10 so I can actually see the speed at which he moves that barbell. That's what I want to see. Him moving a barbell fast for 4 reps is just, it's almost an annoyance because he moves it way too quick. A lot of transitions here for our fellas out here on the floor, moving back and forth. Again, wanting them to kind of get settled in.
Cam Whitaker back already. Gavin Sipple and Anthony Monaco. Great to have those 2 next to each other in the seeded 3 division. Anthony introducing Gavin to the wonderful world of adaptive CrossFit and exactly what Wheelwad has to offer.
Lance King up there in the top. You can see him with the shirt off. I got to look to see what his calories were yesterday, but I think I was actually about 10 calories off from what I thought his.
You were even off.
Yeah.
Well,
he was just below, I think, what I said, but I think it was like, I mean, we were like, I don't know, somewhere between like 7 to 10 calories off total. It's a pretty good score, pretty good guess.
I was way off.
You were well, you didn't have a choice. I didn't leave you with much of a choice. Cam Whitaker there working on the handles on that Echo bike. Again, another great adaptation. If you are a coach and you are watching these athletes go to town, this is their race, but these are all movements that you can do. If you have an athlete who's like, hey, you know what? I hurt my ankle. I hurt my knee. I can't do this. I can't do that. Oh, I got things you can do.
Broken leg. ACL recovery.
ACL.
Anything.
Don't tell me what you can't do. Like, this is obviously an elite level competition for our athletes that are out here, but on a coach's level, these are all ideas of things that you can do to help your athletes so that they do not ever need to take a day off of training. Well, I mean, okay, other than rest days, but I'm talking about because of being injured. They don't need to take any time off of training at all. Lance King, look at that extension. Great hip crease below the knee movement. Beautiful lockout up overhead. And him and Cliff Robinson right in front of him. This is the thing, Lance is able to see him on those thrusters. Cliff isn't able to see him. The only thing he gets to look at is the monitor once they get back to the bike.
Lance King with 3 event wins last year and taking out the title, 880 points out of a possible 900. There's only a couple of athletes in the field last year. Katie Burez, one of those. Bailey Hooper as well, getting the 900 from a 900. Cam Whitaker in the black, heading to the Echo bike again. And does it get frustrating for Cam Whitaker because he can shift this barbell so quickly that he's not spending any time there? It seems to me like just an Echo bike workout or event for him to come in.
You know, that's what I was talking about earlier. It's like I wish he could bypass everything up to about the 5th round where he's doing 10 reps so we can actually see him work. He's spending more time on these lower rounds in transition than he is in the actual movements because he's able to move the bike and the barbell so quick.
Well, the workouts within your affiliate, you are going to find something similar as well. If you've got something in your wheelhouse and something not, you're going to be spending the majority of your...
Right.
Say it's a benchmark workout, Diane, and you've got deadlifts and handstand push-ups. If you're going to that handstand push-up and you don't have handstand push-ups, it could be a long time. My first one was 28 minutes because it was single handstand push-ups and I was spending no time on the deadlift.
Right. That set of 21 deadlifts will take you, 38 seconds.
Yes.
And then the 21 handstand push-ups, you're like,
28
4 minutes and 38 seconds, yeah.
Cam Whitaker on the set of 12. There's Anthony Monaco, the former tattoo artist. Lance King, your winner from this division in 2025.
And I believe Lance right now is working in his 6th round, so he's working on sets of 12 calories on the bike, 12 on his thrusters. And we haven't even hit the 5-minute mark. This is one of the things I was talking about. The rounds go real fast in the first half of the time cap. 5 minutes, you get to about that, and then you think, wow, I'm gonna be doing sets of 24 at the end of this. No, you're not. No, you're not. The rep sets get a lot longer. The rep counts get a lot higher, and those rounds are going to slow down drastically.
Anthony Bonanno on the right-hand side, about to finish off his set of 10 calories on the Echo Bike. You know how hard these athletes are working. Give this a whirl. Arms only on the Echo Bike.
I had, it's always funny when you have young athletes, they never want to do the movement that you want them to do.
Of course
I've done
not.
this with swimmers when I coached swimming in high school. I had kids that would mess around and they'd be like dog paddling. I'm like, okay, we're going to do a set of dog paddling. They find out that it's not really fun. I do the same thing with some of my young baseball kids. They'll hop on the Echo Bike and they just want to move the handles around. So I said, all right, we're going to do a set where we're doing just what these guys are doing right here. Now,
1 minute.
I didn't have the handles like you can see what Cam's grabbing onto there, but they had to stand in front and just move the handles back and forth. They don't touch the handles anymore because the set we did, it blasted them. It's
like
not
lava.
something you're used to, and it burned them bad. It was great. Again, there's all kinds of scaling options and modification ideas that are to be had out here. So you guys should all have your little notebook out and be taking some notes.
Grit and determination by Cam Whitaker.
Now, we talked about this earlier. The bike is just the bike. I mean, yeah, you're getting your calories there. You need to do that. But the part that you are going to get stopped in is going to be the thrusters. So you don't want to kill yourself on the Echo Bike. Just get through that and then make your way to the barbell so you can get through that barbell as fast as possible.
Cam Whitaker moving on to the round of 16 now. See, and that's what we saw 2 years ago in San Antonio, Texas, was this barbell getting shifted almost 350 times.
Unbroken set of 16.
Cam Whitaker.
Wow.
Love your work, buddy.
2 minutes remaining. There's Lucas right there in the orange shirt. He's currently sitting in second place right behind Lance King, who's in the back. And you can see just the timing difference between Lance. That's why he's in that lead. Let me look at the reps that he's going here. And I believe he's about a round ahead of Lucas. Just got confirmation. Lance King, 7 rounds and 14 reps to this point. Jeez.
Oof, going.
Jeez.
Anthony Bonanno back. Last minute of work coming up. Anthony Bonanno taking a break. That's probably the difference. Cam Whitaker able to go unbroken sets every single time. And if you're not resting on something, you're not spending any time in that realm, you can go and work at the Echo Bike, which Cam Whitaker's doing right now.
I mean, and I don't want to say he's resting right here, man. I mean, look at his face. I mean, he's definitely putting some power into it. The nice thing is at least he's getting a little bit of wind blown, so get that fan to cool him off a little bit.
Lance King.
Different setup now. He's in his final 30 seconds, so now he's not just riding just as a transition. He's trying to get those extra calories in.
I love the fact that, yes, it is, you've got competitors around you competing with you, but first past the post, you are going to win the event because of the division setup.
Yep.
Lance King, he doesn't care. He's going for it regardless.
Well, as you should, right? I mean, put all your effort into it. Let the chips fall where they may, but you got to give your best effort. And, man, I tell you what, that was a fantastic effort by Lance King.
Of the floor, it is going to be our intellectual disability with chromosomal condition and without chromosomal condition. We're going to split them down the middle. Lainey, Annie, Julia, and Jessica with the chromosomal condition, and our other competitors, Lauren, Haley, Cassidy, Tessa, and Kira. Kant Porter there on the competition floor, the handler and coach for Jordan Cabrita. A big 3 days of competition for him early in the week. And great to see him giving Jordy Cabrita again some very valuable advice and experience on the competition floor. There's Laney from CrossFit Mandeville. Jordy in blue shirt and the gray shorts. Dylan Creamer in the orange and black. That event win yesterday. And there's Danielle in the bright blue shirt to the far left, Jordy's mum. And number 1 supporter. This is our first event of the morning and the third of our competition. It is a Shark Tank and the intellectual with chromosomal condition, the 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 rep scheme. We have seen over the previous couple of heats our thrusters and echo bike, and without 9 minutes on our time cap, the athletes having to work for the entirety of the 9 minutes. Shark Tank presented by Tupood. Great to have so many of our vendors who are out in the vendor village supporting such a wonderful event, an opportunity for these athletes to throw down internationally. Underway. Athletes moving very quickly to get things rolling. For our gentlemen, we have one division. It is our intellectual disability with chromosomal condition. On the opposite side of the floor, we are splitting with and without chromosomal condition for our intellectual disability division. Lainey Thomason to her left, and our right on screen, Annie Leonard, Julia Lane. Your winner last year, your leader coming into day number 2, Jordy Cabrita. And Dylan Creamer in the backgrounds. Oscar Jessup, no shirt on. And that's as easy as it needs to be. Julia Lane.
Beautiful range of motion. Beautiful range of motion. Great depth on the thruster, and you know, I mean, again, we're only 1 minute in, so I want the athlete to be just a little bit aware of not trying to just smash the transition, because you got another 7.5 minutes to go here. So I like the enthusiasm. Just be a little careful. You don't want to You don't want to dust yourself off and blow up too early.
Jacob Meyer, Black Spruce CrossFit on the left of your screen. And Jordy Cabrita from Uplift Training Club, one of 4 Australians. There's another one of them, Dylan Creamer. Oscar Jessup in front. I mean, too much dancing from Oscar so far. Maybe he's saving it up.
I think, you know, hey, one time when you're doing all the twerking that you're doing, it was more about like enjoying the scenario of the games. I think he's here to compete now. You know, he'll save that for the celebration when it's celebration time.
Tomorrow afternoon.
You know, there you go. Jessica making it through those thrusters, looking really well.
Jessica Jansen Some good results last year, 3 thirds and a first. And 3 names we're used to seeing in this division. Ali Malaki and Cassidy Lungskog in the background, and Tessa Kirky came to visit this morning.
I mean, I have a trading card, Tessa Kirky.
I've got one as well.
I think mine's more valuable than you. I think this I have the rare one.
Yours is a red one. It goes faster.
Yeah.
I'm sure of it. Dylan Creamer.
Dylan currently in the lead right now. Again, early in this event, we're at the 3-minute mark. We have 6 minutes to go. This is that middle ground of this event. Gets really dicey because you think you're flying, and then all of a sudden you're going to feel like you're stuck in the mud as it takes a lot longer to get through each one of those rounds.
Tessa finishing in 3rd place in 24 third. Last year, finishing the Open and finishing the semis in 1st, and wanting to nail down that pesky win that's been avoiding her over the last couple of years. And Tessa, she says, they're capable of hard things. Let us go and do them.
Just do them.
Oh.
She's a stud. She's a badass.
And the DJ got the memo big time. Bit of down under for our Aussie boys on the competition floor. Tessa, the last 5 calories. It is tough going. Now, is Dylan segmenting this a little bit too much? That rest on the rack position, would you prefer to see that drop just a little bit quicker?
You know, it depends how you feel with the weight. I think the fact that he's resting there is good for him. You can tell that he's really trying to control what his heart rate's doing, control how his breathing is. So it's not bad. Me personally, I don't like resting in the front rack position. I'd rather have stuff off my chest and rest in the overhead position. That's just me, but then I can use that as a drop too. It helps me in the drop.
On the floor.
Well, we're talking about elite level athletes here, Jeremy. You know, we don't rest. We don't drop the bar to the floor. We're not taking breaks.
No, I'm thinking about after the set you finished.
Oh, well, that one, hey, yeah, for sure. For sure.
Got out of that one.
Right.
Kira Weber to the far left in the orange and green. Tessa Kirky to the bottom of your screen. To the far right, Cassidy Lundskog. Cassidy Lundskog with 2 event wins last year. 830 points. Absolutely dominated the championship.
Julia Lane's handler getting some work out there. Early's firing Julia up.
Round number 6 for Julia Lane. Dylan Creamer continues his way through and progressing.
Yeah, I believe he's just finishing up round number 5 here. Handful of reps left to go, and there's that hand that went up in the air. So 5 calories left to go for Dylan before he gets into round number 6. Miss Julia Lane right there. Just attacking on that Echo bike. And the thing that I love about Julia is she just has a very focused, her awareness is very focused. You watch her look right on that screen up in front of her. She knows exactly what she needs to do. Has, listening very well to her handler, her coach right there. 2 minutes left to go before she gets herself off the bike and then on back to that barbell for the thruster.
Tessa Kirky continues. Oh, she's got to be happy with this. She's seeing the end of the tunnel coming very quickly. 1 calorie now, 0. And not really.
So happy to get back to the thrusters.
Thrusters.
Cool. Awesome.
What better?
It's so awesome.
Here's a wonderful gift for you.
I'd be much happier knowing that we have 90 seconds left to go. When you're in the affiliate and you're talking about coaching, I never tell people that we're at the halfway point. I never say that we have a minute and a half left because that sounds so much more than 90 seconds. So I'll say 90 seconds at the minute and a half point because it's less than 100 reps, 100 seconds. It sounds like a smaller amount.
Dylan Creamer still leading in the background. It is Jacob Meyer.
Dylan right there in the 6th round with his final minute left to go here, trying to get it and squeeze as many of those reps out as he can with his handler, giving him kind of the clue and the cue to get going here. We're almost done.
Zeke Maddox, CrossFit Doors of Daring. Finishing 8th last year and out of Indiana. Final 30 seconds coming now. Final thruster. Oh, that close. But do you want to go? Now, obviously the thruster reps are going to be slower than the Echo Bike calories.
Yeah.
It's just that toil in the brain. Do you go harder on the thrusters at the back end just so you can get some calories, but it's gonna hurt?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, again, with the Echo Bike, you can always go. Thruster, you can't always go. You want to go, but you can't always go.
No, he's 17. It's just so weird to think that he's only 17.
I know.
Big future ahead.
25 years.
25
years of competitive history coming up.
This is the first event of the morning. It is the second day of competition for the 2026 Adaptive and Teenage CrossFit Games. Our teenagers will be joining us a little bit later on. And Shark Tank. 9 minutes of, as Oscar Jessup mentioned, that was really hard. And it hurt a lot.
Duh, that's exactly what the thrusters equals that. Exactly right there. Our athletes moving back and forth for our upper 1 point. We have a 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, however more you're going to get out of that. 85 pounds on the thruster, 55 for the ladies, and then we have those echo calories on the bike there. 9-minute time cap, and it's very, very sneaky. Those first 3 rounds, 4 rounds, you get done so fast, and you think you're just going to hammer this and crush it for the rest of the time, but all of a sudden it really comes down to that last 4 minutes and how you're able to move during those last 4 minutes.
Please hold.
Right.
Emily Cairns in the pink. And she put some stuff on social media last night saying exactly how much that ski hurt at the back end of the 20 minutes.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Alameda was our second event of the day yesterday. 10 minutes of rowing, 10 minutes of skiing. But some burpees to be done every 2 minutes.
Our athletes out here working with their different adaptations. See that Irene right there working on her Echo Bike calories.
Irene coming all the way from Singapore. A good chat with Tim Murray yesterday. And great to see the expansion of the short stature division increasing each year. And the more exposure athletes can get to it, the better, as with every division.
Yeah, totally. And I think it's just really fun to be able to see, different athletes and new athletes, new faces coming into the scene every single time. I think it's fantastic.
More visitors. Tommy Woodham, Oscar Jessup's coach, coming past as well. Anna Lopez all done, and Hayley Pember-Calvert just jumping off as well. Christy Irby, all part of our upper 1 point. So 1 point of contact on pieces of equipment.
Victor Hugo Asaf right there in the all green. Now, it's crazy because, you know, he's all over the place on this thruster, but we've seen him put 225 pounds and take 225 pounds from the ground to the shoulder to overhead. It's almost like it's too light for him to control it because he's just kind of all over the place. Already in round 5, and we're in the third 3.5 minutes.
And if you're not sure how hard he's working or how difficult this is, give this a whirl.
Yeah.
I tried it 2 years ago when I saw Victor getting to work with the snatches that we saw in San Antonio.
I mean, I think for to put a lot of these things in perspective, and again, this is their race. I don't want to necessarily make it sound like, hey, you know, try this crazy thing at home kind of a deal. But, you know, again, just to talk about what these athletes are doing and how they're racing. You know, my buddy Chase Ingram, who I have my show with, and we've been, you know, competing and commentating together forever. He hurt his shoulder, and he did the adaptive open and tried to get through that. And he's like, you have no idea how hard that was.
Knowing Chase as well as I do, he probably just said, bro.
Bro. And he did say that. There were a lot of text messages that said just that, bro. So, you know, again, just because something is hurt doesn't mean you can't do, you know, do your workout, can't get it in. All these athletes are doing what they're doing, working from their functionality. But then that being said, just the fact of how good they are at this, the balance that you have to have, the coordination that you have to have, you know, the power that you have to have with your body in a different way that you're used to using is unreal.
I'm not sure what Emily Cairns' judge said to her, but I just saw her mouth, thank you. So I'm not sure what was said. Maybe a little bit of...
Maybe it was she thought she had 3 more and it was you have 2 reps. I would say thank you, too.
I'd say that big time. The man who has got 3 more is Victor Hugo Asaf,
who is currently in 6th rounds right now, so he is moving.
Christy Irby currently in 2nd, behind Emily Cairns. Hayley Pember-Calvert making her way back to the bike to join Emily Cairns. Anna Lopez making up our upper 1 point division. Victor, see the sweat absolutely pouring off his face. And for those not too aware, on the live stream, it is relatively cold in the arena. Mike Bitton, winner last year. No Victor to contend with last year, but Mike Bitton. And Em, you thought the ski was hard yesterday.
Right, yeah, right.
Irene Wanondi, the short stature division, she is your leader. Trying to finish off that round of 10 on the Echo by calories for Wanondi. Mark Samuel will make his way back. Big French contingent in our upper 1 point. Mike Bitton, Mark Samuel, and Ludovic van der Vrij making up our athletes. Your leader, Victor Hugo Asaf from Ecuador.
And again, this right here is what we always see. This is the back half of the this particular event. Like I said, the last 4 minutes we have, 2 minutes left to go. You can see the fatigue. We talked about the pain cave, you know, as far as the keys go. This is that element. The thrusters are terrible. And Yes, you can grab a chunk of them at a time, but you have to think about how are you going to break it up? Short sets, short rest.
Cairns, Pemba Calvert. And we've got a race going on in the short stature division as well. Our newcomer to competition, Annie Bridegroom, battling with Irene Wanondi. Irene on the left and Annie on the right. Jenny Weiss all the way down there in all black to the far right of your screen. In the background, it is Rachel Marta, who joined us last year in competition for the first time. Oh, the final minute. Probably the best news they've heard all day.
Oh, exactly. That's exactly what you want to hear. And the thing is it goes so fast. It really does. Seems like it takes forever when you're in the early part of the event, but it goes so fast on this final bit. You know, again, we have these athletes that are making their way through into their 7th round. After the 6th round, you've already done 42 thrusters, 42 calories on the bike. And you're trying to squeeze out. You see both our leaders here trying to squeeze out that last handful of calories.
20 seconds left. Victor, Emily, Mark, and Irene are your 4 athletes. Front and center of the screen. Irene not messing around. She wants more.
Oh, I think he just got it. I think Victor just got that last one to finish up that round.
It is our lane assignments for heat number 7. It is our Neuro Major division. And Roy Gunther Jr. Really had a day yesterday. And Jessica Rausch battling with Carissa Glover with the ski and the road yesterday, back and forth, back and forth. We saw some great races yesterday. One person got one component done better and the other one got the other. People like Tom Yazga who just goes, no, I'm going for both.
Couplets are like that though. You know, there's always going to be one piece that you're better at than the other, and the races are fun when you have that balance back and forth between I'm good at A and you're good at B, and I'm not so good at B and you're not so good at A, so we try to sneak up on each other and see what we can get.
We saw Carissa Glover from Salty Hive CrossFit on your screen. And some no reps coming in immediately. 3 different divisions in our neuromuscular division. It is our minor, moderate. This is our major. Brian Hill having a battle with that barbell immediately. Carissa Glover not messing around. She's back. Susan Gilson in the all black to the far right of your screen.
Danny Lott's right there, working through his shoulder to overhead. Again, with our neuro major athletes out here, we have our handler that just kind of keeps an eye on the athletes, helping them through, making sure that they don't, have any sort of injury to them, kind of keeps them in check, helps them if they need to balance or checks them on their balance. You can see Angel right there, that's Danny's handler. Angel, long time HQ, long time.
Forever.
Long time.
Sure my inbox has plenty of emails coming through. And a busy morning. This is heat number 7. And once we get to heat 9, we are going to take about a 40-minute break.
Hannah Weber right there finishing up with her Echo Bike calories.
Hannah Webster from Pembrokeshire, Tenby in the UK. And we saw great stuff from Hannah Webster last year with a best place finish in 2nd. She finished 4th overall, just outside that podium. Jenna Capolini. Loved the interview yesterday with Jenna. Currently leading the way, Meredith Sorensen, who I thought had a really good day yesterday, and then we got to the back end and the ski just seemed to really just...
What did Dave Castro say all the time? You gotta call out that weakness, and when that weakness comes up, it's like, oh, that's the thing I need to work on.
But I don't think it was a weakness. I think it was just the result of a very long day of competition, and maybe just sent it a little bit too hard on the row. But she was working extremely hard on that ski. Alan Castana from CrossFit the Crypt in Belgium. Another athlete that is represented here. Kevin Araya, Costa Rica. And Jesus Carrasco from Spain.
Working through that big push press.
Sydney Peterson at the back. Seems to be in a really good rhythm. Susan Gilson in all black, and at the front, Carissa Glover. Tracy Bartalo. We saw Tracy last year as well. Tracy finishing in 1st place last year. And it wasn't a matter of athletes finishing 1st in every single event that was on last year. It was just a consistency that got some of them over the line. For some like Lance King and Katie Burez and Bailey Hooper, Tommy Yazga. Yes, they did extremely well, a lot of event wins. But consistency is going to be key. As Oscar Jessup said in his interview, hey, we got 25 years left. We got plenty going on. Sydney Peterson making her way to the bike. Susan not looking that impressed to be on the bike, to be fair. Dan Lotz out at Timberwolf CrossFit.
Dan gets that bar to the front rack position right here. You see Angel, just a slight touch just to make sure that he's checked so he knows where he is balance-wise. Smart movement there. Again, good conversation between him and Angel, making sure that he's all in the correct position. Carissa Glover right here getting set up. Beautiful re-dip underneath that jerk, getting that shoulder, or that barbell from the shoulder to up overhead. And this is the dangerous part of this event. Dangerous, I guess the ugly part of this event, where we're past the halfway point time-wise. We have a 9-minute time cap with 3 minutes left to go. Now you're on each one of these elements for a long period of time. Big chunks of shoulder to overhead here that these athletes have to deal with. Lots of calories to get on the bike, and even though they're going up by 1 single calorie at a time on the Echo bike, it's this element here that gets really nasty. Kevin Araya right there in the green shorts, again being checked by his handler just to make sure that he's all sound and ready to go. Alan Castanier on the right-hand side of the screen. Again, we're at the point where these reps are so tiring and so fatiguing to do. Trying to get multiples, but if you gotta go singles, you gotta go singles. So Alan, all he has to do are push presses, or shoulder to overhead, But because he's going singles, he's kind of resorting to have to do a clean and jerk for every single one of these reps. Jenna Capellini off the bike, making her way back to her barbell with about 90 seconds left to go. And not a real long rest there at all. So what I'm hoping is that she was able to use the Echo bike as a active recovery as she's moving. Now her shoulder to overhead looked pretty good. I love the use of the hips. Nice big jump to drive that barbell up off the shoulders and get into that locked out position.
Jenna leading the way on 270 points. 10 points ahead of Meredith Sorensen and another 10 back to Jessica Rausch. It's been a great battle between the three so far. As I mentioned, Meredith with that second place finish and first place finishing in Reboot Part A and just dropping to fourth on Part B with the ski.
Wow, that's not bad at all.
But yeah, a little bit of a drop off, but really not much. Dan Lotz currently sitting in sixth position on 90 points with a 6th, 6th, and 6th. The consistency is key. Wants to change that up right now and finish a little bit higher. Capellini, your leader, in the black shirt in the center of your screen. Tracy Bartolo in the green shirt just behind. Susan Gilson at the front. Not too long to go. And Capellini working on her round of 14. Oh, just not able to get that final rep for Jenna Capellini. It is our seated 1 division and that great tussle between Joe Clark, Kai Vickers, Brandon Mance that went on yesterday. I hope we see more of that. Shark Tank, it is the first of the day for these athletes. It is the third of the competition. It might be 9 minutes on our time cap, but it is a nasty one, and it is presented by Tupu.
We have that increasing a rep scheme by 2 on the thruster or the shoulder to overhead. We have our individual calorie increase on the Echo bike. Guess what? Everyone gets to hang and play with that Echo bike. This is just yucky. Nine-minute time cap for our athletes out here. Smiley Williams right there in the front of your screen. I wish I had one of those workout faces where I was smiling the whole time. I do not have that. But she looks way too happy. I can't tell if she's happy and smiling or like grimacing.
She's smiling 24/7. When I saw her 2 years ago and met her for the first time, this beaming smile, and then all last year when she was helping us out on the volunteer side of things with Wheelwad, smiling again, and then back to competition again this year.
I really need to ask her if during the workout, is it smiling or is it, that's just her grimace? Like, you know, like kind of gritting your teeth, but it ends up looking like a smile. I don't know. It's lucky.
I
don't look like that.
I went through the athlete questionnaires that they filled out prior to coming. What's your nickname? And she goes, Smiley. I was like,
got it.
How good. Becca Storm-Nagel. And we'll go back and forth with Andrea Wilson. Andrea was so good yesterday. Our ladies in the seated 1 division. Andrea on 267 points. 2 first placings and a second on the ski. Hayley Kuhn actually getting the win. And there's Smiley right now in our seated 3 division. So 2 of our seated divisions in 1 heat for the females. And Smiley with 2 seconds and a third to start off her first day of competition.
Andrea Wilson going to town on the Echo bike. You see her hammering those handles back and forth. See our gentlemen up there getting that barbell up to their rig, up onto that pad before they can get it to the shoulders and go for that press out.
Stefan Roche. I think we found something that's right in Stefan's wheelhouse. Leading the way all the way down the far end. Our athletes coming back to the barbell. Becca Storm-Nagel back to competition again after taking a break last year. She's been able to get out and about and do a fair bit of different things. And getting a half marathon ticked off. It's a big thing for athletes to get through. Talking to her on day before registration. And she was hoping to have a chat to the DJ and get a playlist requested for when she's on the floor. And I went, I'll see what I can do, but yeah. Sophie Wilson, bottom rights, out of the Matt Hampson Foundation in the United Kingdom. And there's Sophie. Finishing second in the division last year. Brandon Mance having I don't know if it's a look around, but it's a shake of that head. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this.
You know, I think that was great. I mean, he is moving back and forth. He's trying to use his body as efficiently as possible, but checking out, seeing if you can see any of the other athletes. How are they moving? What's the tempo that they're moving those handles? Obviously, you can't see any screens from that side, but you are able to see how people are moving.
Melo Marsak to the far left of your screen. Getting that bar into position. And Brandon Mance in front, Jacob Smith. And your leader, it is Stefan Roche from Workzone Athletics Centre in Belgium. And it's a matter of just getting into that rhythm that allows your upper torso and those arms to work effectively without burnout.
Yeah, you know, and I think you just find that rhythm, how you're pushing back and forth, and what's more important is where you fit that breathing. And I'm watching what Stefan's doing, how he's doing his breathing. You can see how he's kind of settling into it, not letting himself slow down.
As I mentioned, Hayley Kuhn with that first place finish yesterday afternoon in the row reboot part B.
In a big struggle trying to get those arms locked out. And again, holding to the standard. Have to get the arms locked out. Again, we're in the World Championship here, so standards are a big thing. We have our judges that are not going to let athletes slide. There was a good lockout. That's what we're looking for.
Stefan Roche, again, quick break. Rion Holloway in the background. Jesus Gentile. And just out of the screen on the left on the bike, it is Nikodem Shankar, who's about to move back into shot right now in the blue. Hayley Kuhn. Andrea Wilson, barbell going from shoulder to overhead in the orange. This is her 6th games. 24 weeks pregnant.
Yeah,
And
that's just wild. That's wild to me.
And she just, talking to her, she goes, when the odds are against her, I'm going to go harder.
That's awesome. But what's even cooler is look at her handler. That's her son.
Even better.
Even better. Go, Mom, go, Mom. I mean, what parent isn't going to go faster and harder if the kid is yelling, go, Mom, or go, Dad?
Oh, you just know that voice. It just eats away at you.
That's where you get the superpowers, right? Comes from your kids like that.
Smiley continues. Hope Patel over at the back. Head down, straight to work. Hope has finished the 14 thrusters. About to finish up the 14 on the bike. We still have 1 minute and 40 seconds remaining. Stefan Roche continues. The Joe Clark, Kai Vickers, Brandon Mance. This is going to be a really good competition within a competition. They battled yesterday. It was so good. Brandon Mance getting that event win.
And you can tell Joe is really pushing here, trying to take his arms off, trying to get as much rest on those arms, but watch this big push here. Now the handler you can see Shannon on the side telling the athletes and the handler, hey, you got to get your chest up as vertical as you can. This is supposed to be a shoulder press, not a bench press.
Judging standard, it's got to be high.
It has to be high. I mean,
but they don't want it any other way either.
No, absolutely not. I mean, again, when you're racing, you just have to know your confines. You know, as an athlete, you want to be able to do, don't tell me how to win. Let me do whatever I need to do, whatever I choose to do, and how I'm going to choose to use my body. But tell me what the limits are so that I can work within that. And if it's supposed to be an upright shoulder press, then judges should be coming around and make sure that everyone's upright. Upright press versus a bench press is very different. Smiley getting after it.
Those pigtails flying around.
I know, that's a lot of wind on those things right there.
Oh,
jeez.
Yes,
okay,
Clark, come on.
I don't know, I think he stole my legs and attached them to his shoulders. Those arms are gigantic.
Pipes. Whee. Tell you who impressed me yesterday, apart from Tom Miazga, was Aaron Hodson.
Oh, yeah. Yes, he did.
And Russell Allmendinger.
Yeah.
Now, last year we throw it back to Las Vegas and Aaron Hodson breaks the Echo bike. He just broke it because he went that hard that the Echo bike just couldn't keep up. Well, let's hope we get to see that again.
Well, I mean, the guy has got massive, strong, powerful arms, so if anyone has a chance of ripping those handles off, it's going to be him. I'm kind of anxious to see, do they have anything set as a substitute, just in case he does shred one of those handles off?
I'm just excited about the race now between himself, Russell Allmendinger, and Tom Miazga.
Yeah.
Because it's not just a 1 minute max effort bike calorie push like last year. This is consistent pacing and being able to get through those reps as quick as possible.
Well, see, this is where Tom Miazga, I think, has the advantage. He's a swimmer, and swimmers are just used to being in the suck for a long period of time, so he can hold on to a particular pace for a long period of time. If you look at someone like Aaron Honzig, power output, but I don't know if he's going to be able to hold on to that power output for the entire 9 minutes. Also, I mean, let's get down to brass tacks here. It's not just about the Echo bike. That's kind of your active recovery.
I
know it's disgusting. I know. I threw up on my mouth when I said that.
I like the slight pause before you said it.
So where Aaron has to really kind of go to work, is to use those big shoulders of his for this shoulder to overhead.
The bonus for Aaron Honzik, who's sitting back just behind Tom Miazga in the center of his screen. He can see Tom. Tom can't see him.
That is true, yeah.
Underway for heat number 9. We are breaking after this, and we are going to get to our Neuro Moderate division once again for upload on the competition floor.
That's going to be a tough one for Fernando, trying to get that barbell to that front rack position. Not fatigued yet, but having a little bit of a struggle there.
Nina Alexandru finishing 5th last year at the 2025 Adaptive CrossFit Games. Jasmine Mock. She finished in 2nd last year, looking to go one better.
And again, we see our handlers are being told how they're supposed to keep our athletes at what angle so that they can ensure that shoulder press position.
Honzik out of the United Arab Emirates. Tom Miazga.
Tom Miazga, no break, and you see that he just looked over the side to see where Aaron was. Aaron did take that break. That right there, that was separator. I don't know if Aaron's going to be able to catch him.
Honzik. Whoever adjusted the handles on that, make sure they tighten them a little bit more.
Tighten those things down. Better tighten those things down.
Shelley Chrono. Aaron Shearer, the coach, not just of Shelley Chrono, but also Bronwyn Klatcher in the Masters division. Tori Clinch getting through the reps, and there's Fabrizio Taviera.
Now he's currently sitting just ahead of Tom Miazga, so great position for him to be in. Not the only one on the bike. Those guys are like basically rep for rep. So Fabrizio really needs to put his head down and get to work here. Handler's in the back right behind him, telling him to keep on moving, keep on moving. He's got to be looking over to see where Tom is. Fabrizio is looking over to see where Tom is.
Fabrizio in 4th position, 40 points back from your top 3, Miazga, Allmendinger, and Honzik, with a 3rd, 4th, and 5th place, and wanting to add a 2nd and a 1st, because it'll just look good.
Looks like Tom Miazga is about 1 or 2 reps ahead of Fabrizio, so Fabrizio just not able to keep that pace that Tom Miazga is holding.
Oh, Miazga, simple stuff. You can see those Olympic rings tattoo on the inside of his right arm. Is there nothing that Tom Miazga cannot do?
I don't know. Maybe he's not good at poker. I don't know.
Marathon on the way for Tom Miazga as well.
Yeah.
He is ticking things off as he goes along. Jasmine Mock currently on equal 2nd with Elizabeth Foster. Tori Clinch with that lead, with 2 2nd-place finishes and a 1st already after day number 1. Shelley Chrono, who is in the lane beside Jasmine Mock, currently in 4th. Your leader of the overall competition. Tori Clinch out of CrossFit Bra in the UK. Fabrizio, probably one of those athletes with the best looking torso position we've seen so far.
I mean, definitely upright. It's going to be easier to breathe, but, you know, the other athletes, I think it's a matter that they're just really pushing the tempo. So your current leader is going to be Mr. Tom Miazga, who's over in lane number 6. There he is right there, able to jump ahead. Just got through round number, or has actually just started the thruster part, so it's halfway through round number 6. Sets of 12, and we still have 4.5 minutes left, and this is going to get where the position where it's really dicey. You've already made it to this point. You already are pre-fatigued. And now it's like, what sort of capacity do you have? And we're going to see exactly the capacity of Tom Miazga. I think he's going to make a massive jump here.
Tory Clinch, CrossFit Bruff in the north of England, up near Yorkshire. 10 thrusters complete. She's going to get these 10 calories done very quickly. She's at the top right of your screen, Tom Miazga. The top left of your screen, Fabrizio Taviera and Jasmine Mock. At the bottom of your screen currently, great to see.
Tom Miazga.
4 different views of our competition floor. Clinch and Mock, this is going to be a tight one.
Tom able to take a little bit of a coast as he was looking around the rest of the field to see where everybody was as he gets into that shoulder to overhead. Again, very upright. I love the way he's getting his head through there. I mean, talk about picture perfect positioning for our seated athletes. That's beautiful setup there.
Aaron Honzik in the background, chasing down your leader.
Jasmine Mock, a little bit of a break. And again, we talk about who has the advantage here. Jasmine does, just because she's behind Tory Clinch. She's able to see exactly how Tory's moving. See Tory right on the left-hand side of your screen. Couple reps and then taking a break.
Honzik still working away. Taviera makes his way back to the bike. Elizabeth Foster for the females, finishing her 10 thrusters. Chasing down your leader in the top right corner of your screen, Tory Clinch.
All of our athletes trying to finish up here. We have about 2 minutes and 10 seconds left to go. A lot of time to get a lot of reps left, but we're not going to be hitting rounds right now. So this is the element and the segment of this event where you're just going to have to settle in to whatever rep set it is that you're doing. Tom Miazga is up to about his 7th round, or round 8, I believe. And with that, you know, again, round 8 means 16 reps. So 16 reps of shoulder to overhead. I don't necessarily think he's going to go unbroken for 16 reps. In fact, he didn't. I'm looking out to the floor, and he is taking a break, which he knows that he can. So that's good. That's good news for him.
Roberto Sanchez at the bottom of your screen in the green shirt is going to town.
Whatever it takes to move those handles, man, whatever you need to do. If the head's going to help, so be it.
Adam Page at the bottom in the orange, and to the far left, the black shirt, Fernando Campos. Russell Allmendinger to the far right, just out of your shot. You can just see that barbell moving from that rack position to overhead.
Jasmine Mock down at the bottom, trying to crank away on those handles. Tom Miazga absolutely annihilating. Now, he's well ahead of the rest of the field, and I think he knows that, so he's going to, I would think, if I was him, yes, he needs to push. Yes, he's got 30 seconds left to go, but there isn't anyone close to him. He's a whole round ahead of even Aaron Hunziger. So I think even though Aaron's getting after it, Tom knows where he is, and he's just trying to coast himself into the last 15 seconds of this event.
Tory Clinch, 14 thrusters completes. Oh, this has been exceptional. Our top 2 on the screen are going to be your top 2 to finish off for another event win. Tom Miazga, Tory Clinch. They are looking way too happy for my liking.
I think they're just happy that they're done. Are you kidding me? I mean, it's always nice to win that that sort of an event. Great race for our athletes out there. That was a fantastic battle.
Our massive army of volunteers get to work on our competition floor.
In groups, and we're going to see the same thing here. 9-minute AMRAP. So everyone's going to be working for 9 minutes. Let's see how many rounds you're going to get.
I love what you just said. I like the
Well,
idea.
thank
I
you.
like the idea of Shark Tank. the application completely separate to
Yeah, I mean, you do. I mean, it's a dicey event, and we need one. We need a grindy, gritty event for our athletes to compete against.
Our lane assignments for our vision impaired division. And there are your gentlemen, Hunter Tribe, really doing a great job so far in our competition, leading the way on 380 points. Johan Salas, we chatted to him in our previous event, which was Upload. But those two sharing the spoils of the male vision impaired division for our females. Andrea Valle leading the way. She's in lane number 6. And Emma Hood, spoke to Emma on the podcast just before. And great to have the ability to chat to the athletes, break down exactly how they got here, how they're feeling, and how they think their expectations are going to sit the back end of tomorrow when we crown our top 3.
Well, I think that's such a great question to ask these athletes, because you have 1 day down, you have 2 days, you're about halfway through the second day, you have a whole half of the competition left. So the feelings for a lot of the athletes, it's either a little bit of anxiety, some frustration, some happiness, some sadness. So I think it's a really great question, and they gave a lot of really great answers.
Back to Shark Tank. It feels like forever since we were here, but it was only this morning. Athletes will make their way from the barbell to the Echo Bike, and the handlers, their job today, or for the next
9 minutes.
Well, next 9 minutes, give or take, is going to be pretty important, considering they've got to guide their athletes back and forth between the barbell and the Echo Bike and make sure they stay. Talk about staying in your lane, they need to stay in their lane.
Yeah, that's right. We do have some barbells moving around. They do separate the barbells. Try to give them as much space as possible, but the handlers are also going to be watching that. So you can see right there, you know, it's not just about leading them to their bike. We're in the middle of a race, so that transition for a lot of these athletes needs to be quick, but you need to have a handler that can get you to your object, whether it's to the Echo Bike or over to the barbell as fast as you can.
Andrea Valle just hands out, reaching for the bike, because she
yeah.
wants to get to work.
Yeah, you know, get me there. So we're running, got your hands out there, ready to grab onto whatever handles it is, or if it's onto a barbell, whichever one. And again, we're going up by 2 reps at a time on the calories on the Echo Bike and also with the thruster. So one of those events, we talked about this earlier when we run this with the other divisions. 9-minute cap, we're going to get through 3 rounds very fast. And you're going to feel like you're going to just get, I'm going to be doing 9,000 reps of whatever. Then all of a sudden you're going to get in that middle section. And if you are now not able to do your reps of your thrusters unbroken, you're going to all of a sudden feel that you need to. And then you're going to wonder, there's no way, or think that there's no way that I can do them even unbroken. So you start breaking into figuring out, what break am I going to take? Do I do sets of 4? Do I do sets of 3? We saw it earlier where athletes were having to go down all the way to sets of 1 on those thrusters just because of what the weight was and how many they've been hitting at that point.
Mary Collin from Jomo CrossFits, sitting in 3rd position and 70 points behind your leader, Andrea Valle. Andrea pushing hard, trying to extend that lead between herself and Emma Hood, who is in 2nd, 40 points back. Colin finishing 3rd last year, 2025 Adaptive CrossFit Games.
Kimberly right there. Again, long-time competitor in the adaptive space as well as even just the regular space. Having her handler has been able to help her out, getting her to her Echo Bike and to the thrusters. Again, 95 pounds on thrusters for our athletes. Trying to wait and see if we can hear what round our athletes are in what lanes.
Johan chasing down your leader, Hunter Tribe. Now the thing that's separating Johan and Hunter currently are countback reps. So placements are the important thing for these athletes, but they are currently both on 380 points. Nick Bullock is sitting in third, equal with Tom DePries from CrossFit Noosa in Australia.
Andrea Valley right there, working through her calories on the Echo bike. And right now, the 4-minute mark is right where it starts to get really dicey for a lot of these athletes. The calories, the reps, the rounds aren't clicking off as fast as they were before. And now you have to start thinking about how you're going to break up these reps. Now, obviously on the bike, you're not going to break up anything. This is going to be more of an active recovery, because on the thrusters, if you're not moving the bar, then you're not getting any reps.
Your leader, Andrea Valle.
Beautiful range of motion on those thrusters. Nice deep squat. See that bar in a beautiful front rack position. Big pop of the hips to help the shoulders get that arms into that locked out position.
Carla Redondo. Now Kim DeCairo, I would love to see her be able to get that head through a little bit more. We've spoken about it a couple of times about that head staying back as the thruster comes overhead. Early reps and that head just staying back just a touch.
Well, I mean, again, if we're talking about wanting to get a picture-perfect rep, sure. But if the reps are being counted by the judge, then they're counted by the judge. Now, the head judge has been pretty, tell you what, they've been pretty good as far as making sure that the judges are all staying on track. So if that does happen, then we're not going to be able to see, or we won't be seeing no reps for very long, because the head judge will make their way around for that for sure. Johan Sellis right there, just making his way back to the bar. There's 3. Tanda Prez right behind him. Andrea with a hand up in the air, working through the final few calories on her Echo bike.
Johan, back to the bike again. Our results currently for our vision impaired division on the leaderboard. Only after 3 scored events, not 4. They're working through something in relation to upload earlier on today. Emma Hood, bottom left of screen. Powerful extension. Andrea Valle down the bottom of your screen on the right-hand side.
I tell you, Valle looks just absolutely just strong on those thrusters. I mean, you can tell she's tired in between, but not a long break. You can tell that the handler's, keeping her going, keeping her moving. Athlete working all the way through, and once she gets that bar onto that front rack position, just is able to drive through every single one of those reps. Looks fantastic.
Turner Bale, top right of your screen. But the word that comes to mind with Andrea is just control.
Johan Sellas was leading the pack for quite a bit, but Hunter Tribe, again, not being able to tell where all the other athletes were, but moving much faster on the Echo bike, gets into that front rack position for these thrusters. Nice big pop off those shoulders, trying to get some more reps. There's 2 in the bank for Hunter. Johan Sellas is also back to his bar. He's right behind Hunter. We'll see what we can do as we come into the final 10 seconds here, see if Hunter holds on to it.
Separation only by placement. Hunter Tribe. Oh, the shake of the head. For our females, Alina Weidlich and I think the entire gym in Germany in Stuttgart watching on. She has got a lead, and it's a fairly big one. Katie Burez jumping into second on the leaderboard now. Raquel Soriano into third for our gentleman. Greg Carter continuing 4 from 4 with 400 points. Jorge Lozano in second, and Vicente Martal rounding out that top 3. Florian Grulke on the podium last year. He's only 12 points back. Ryan Keller with some great lifting earlier on. Patient, confident.
Strong.
Oh, strong, yes.
I mean, you can have all the niceties, but let's get down to brass tacks on that. Strong.
Strong. Martal, 2 athletes in. Shark Tank is the final event for these athletes on our second day of competition. Athletes wasting absolutely no time in getting to the bike quickly.
And again, what we're looking for on here is fast 2 reps of the thrusters, fast 2 reps of the calories on the Echo bike, and then we just keep on adding 2 reps to each one of those. So you start off nice and easy, and I won't say nice and easy, but it's easy to get through a lot of rounds, and then all of a sudden you get into big chunks. We're having athletes all day long that have gotten into the 7th round. That's actually when you're working on the set of 14 reps. So how are you going to break that up when you start getting tired? That's where it gets really interesting in the second half, the back half of this 9-minute time cap.
I was about to say they jumped, and they jumped fast. Can you get to your thrusters or to your bike too quickly? I know you'll get that injection of adrenaline that the event has just started and everything's exciting. Can you get there too quickly?
I think it's not so much too quickly on the first round, but you go through those light rounds too quickly, too fast, too easy. 2 reps on thrusters, not a big deal. 4, not a big deal. 6, not a big deal. 8, not even a big deal. But then all of a sudden, now after that, you've already done a handful of reps as you're getting into larger sets where now you're really going to need to take that break. See Katie right there. I mean, she's moving the handles, but this actually is going to turn into more of a rest recovery segment while she goes back to the thrusters. Because the thing is, you can just keep the wheels spinning and you're going to move that calories. But if you're too tired to grab that bar and get any reps on the thrusters, then you're just going to stand there waiting.
Leader, Greg Carter, 72-point lead, and that's comfortable heading into the final day tomorrow.
It really is, yeah. I mean, unless something bad happens in this event, and you have a couple athletes that are able to kind of, throw some wrenches into the system. He's looking pretty solid. Not totally solid, but pretty solid.
Alison Hagland, that crazy hair we were used to seeing from Las Vegas last year, it's back for more. And the cheer squad for Alison Hagland has followed her here because we can hear them in the background. Remember those faces they had up in the crowd?
Those big heads, yeah. Great positioning there on those thrusters. You can see her getting well below that hip crease below the knee, well past parallel. Bars up nice and high in the front rack, so it allows her to be comfortable when she's doing that front squat into that press overhead.
Third of the way through Shark Tank.
Greg Carter right there is your leader. Little chalk up.
Jorge Lozano on the right of your screen up top.
And I believe I just heard the MCs out on the floor saying that Greg just rounded out, or was rounding out round number 5. Round number 5 instead of 10 on the thrusters and 10 on the calories on the bike.
Mathal, time for some thumbs up. Sitting in third position on the leaderboard currently. 12 points between himself and Florian Grulke. Melissa Stockton, Maya Rose to the far left, or no rep from Maya Rose. Raquel Soriano, third athlete in. Lauren Ringo, Alina Weidlich, Alison Hagland.
And in the air for Allison, 5 reps left to go.
Now he always negative splitting these sets. Once they get a decent number, or
I would go to a number where it's like, okay, if I can't get, like maybe it's 6. I mean, because really you want to break early, so you feel more fresh. But say you break at 6. Okay, so that means the next one you can either do 6 and 2, or depending how tired you were, or you start going 4 and 4. Then you hold that number, so it's 4, 4, whatever. Then you get to 10, maybe 5 and 5, maybe you go 6 and 4, maybe you go 4, 4 and 2, depending. But you want to be able to try and keep it as consistent as you can, and never get to where you're going to failure or where it's super hard on the rep. If you do that, it means you're pushing too hard. Greg Carter again back on the bike into the 6th round. Sixth round for Greg means he has 12 calories on his Echo bike. 3 minutes left to go.
Katie Perez with some work to do. The standing diagnosed female division. 44 points back from Alina Weidlich. So dominant last year.
Well, and it's crazy because there's one event that dropped her down down the leaderboard. A single movement. And this, I mean, we've seen it before. I think Sam Briggs was CrossFit Games champ and then can't even go back to the CrossFit Games because she gets knocked out on a handstand walk. Talk about if you have a hole in your game and it comes up, it can be really detrimental.
Clean slate for Katie Perez last year in the 2025 Adaptive CrossFit Games. 900 points. There was only a number of athletes that were able to do the clean sweep. Hagland. Anna is Poke just ahead. Her thrust is looking pretty good. Fatigue is the factor. Hagland.
And that right there is what we were talking about. If you push too hard, too soon, too fast, you get to a failure. Now all she can do is wait and rest. Greg Carter looking fantastic, and one of the things that Greg has been doing is he's taking, I think, appropriate rests, appropriate breaks, but he's looking over to Florian Grolke because Florian's making a big push.
Here he comes now, Florian about to step on. And Florian's the one that needs to make a move. The good news for Florian, he can finish second to Greg the entire time and still make a push for that top 3.
Right.
I don't think he's going to be able to hit the numbers that Greg Carter has already hit in the competition. 4 from 4 for Greg Carter, and potentially 5 from 5. Florian, 12 points back from Marthal. $36 points back from Lozano.
Wow, Grolke is fantastic on the Echo bike.
He just has to be. He doesn't have a choice. And some great work from Florian Grolke to finish that off strong. Carter will still find himself in the lead after that one. And for our ladies, we're going to have to wait and see the results, exactly where Katie Burez got to and how much more she has reduced that lead. Assignments for our Neuro minor division. And Giada Serpellini leading the way, but only 16 points ahead of Esther Daru and Tina Murdoch in third. And for our gentlemen, Edgar Castillo, Ben Fallon, Thomas Spaniel, and there's only 18 points separating 1 through 3. We got a tight one on our hands for this division all the way through to the end of Sunday afternoon. We're going to wrap things up and crown our top 3 in all 16 divisions.
And all of our athletes run out to their bar to get started. And again, this is the easiest start to a particular event. 2 on the thrusters, get over to your bike. 2 calories on the Echo bike. So these first couple rounds, as we've said, go really fast. You said a 2, not a big deal. Seeing some of the athletes, wow, right there, deciding not even put their hands on the handles, just trying to really make it a recovery. I get it, you can break it early, maybe not this early. That's all right. Scott Bell right there with his set of 4, just walking off screen. Liam Smith right behind him as all the men are finishing up their set of 4. Over in lane number 3, Esther Daru, right there in the purple top, working on her set of 6 reps. Lauren Saul right there, using a lot of her body trying to get those handles back and forth. Again, this is going to end up being more of the recovery element of the event. The men are back to their bar, and I think this is smart right here. Take a break if you need to. There's your leader right on the right-hand side there. Lane number 7, Adam Nelsick. I'm sorry, Thomas Fagnall. First back to the bike, working into his set of 8. But he's joined by Adam right to the left of him. So Adam has a chance to see what Thomas is doing. Thomas will be first to strike. Actually, I take that back. Adam's going to get after it first. Tina Murdoch doing her thing, coming on back to the bike. Adam Nelson goes to take a break. Adam Fagnell, big sets, and I love that. The fact that he's got the power to do that unbroken. Is really big for him.
Giada Ceppolini continuing to lead Adam Milchek. Top 3 last year and looking to bounce back once again. What's your thought process heading off? You're exhausting at the end of every single thruster set and you look down at the end of your lane and the bike's there waiting for you.
No, I'm thinking that's recovery. I'm going to be able to knock some reps off, knock my calories off, fast as they do come off. I mean, whatever that ends up being, but it's where I'm going to recover so I can go back to the thrusters and do some more.
Random one for you that the athletes aren't going to experience. Do you prefer to accumulate the calories as you go along without having that reset back to zero every single time?
I think if it's, are you talking about like on the monitor itself?
On the monitor. Do you like it ticking up to a certain point?
Well, the thing is, if you do that at home in practice, then you're
few
cheating,
residual credits.
You're cheating yourself a little bit. Yeah, that's not going to happen in competition. Scott Bell right there is your leader overall across the group. Gentlemen behind him are all following. But I'm watching him. I'm watching the way Scott's moving right now, and he looks very fatigued. And I think he may have just got passed up. Yep. Tom Fagnell right there, I think, moved into your new lead position.
Esther DeRue with a heap of work to do.
Yeah, we saw how fast Esther came out of the gate those first handful of rounds. Starting to see a little bit of that residual fatigue now. And this is what we talked about, the 9-minute time cap. We're approaching that 6-minute mark, so she still has 3 minutes left to go.
16-point gap between your leader, Giada Ceppolini, Esther DeRue, and Tina Murdoch. Some of our divisions getting very tight for points.
You have to look just behind our athletes in the foreground here. See Thomas Vanier in the back, making his way back to the bar. That's him right there, kind of cockeyed doing the thrusters. You can see right in the middle of your screen. Thomas working in his 6th round right now. It's a set of 12 on the thrusters.
Vanier, I like that. Take the breath, adjust the belt, adjust the knee sleeves, and then assume the position. The athletes are working hard. Coming up to the 7-minute mark, we've still got another 2 minutes left.
A lot of looking around by Fanier right there. I think that's really smart. He's got to know how much time he has left, plus who else is on the floor. He knew that Scott Bell was up there in front, was playing with that lead position as well. And those guys just basically kind of work themselves into a hole. But he's got to be aware, even though he's doing just a handful of reps at a time, that no one sneaks up behind him. Vanier, sets of 2 on these thrusters.
Out of CrossFit Grenoble. Not sure where Grenoble is. It's out near Chamonix on the way to Switzerland. Do some geography lessons as well in my spare time.
Scott Bell up in the top right of your screen, trying to chase him, but being buried and only being able to do sets of 1. See Fanier in the back. He's done with his set of 12, making his way back over to the Echo bike with just about 1 minute remaining here. Scott Bell, just a little bit of wobbling. Again, trying to support that out to get the go-ahead by the judge.
Bell currently sitting in 8th overall, 144 points, and wants some big numbers. Fanier, 18 points back from the lead. Edgar Castillo currently has that. Fanier says, hold my vino.
Okay.
French, lovely region for wine.
30 seconds for our athletes.
The Neuro minor division for the females, just as tight.
Tina Murdoch making her way back to that Echo bike, and look at look at what she's putting into those handles now. She realized she only had a handful of seconds left, and this is exactly what you're doing right there. Empty the tank.
Fanier is finished with the bike. Murdoch attempting to get done in the next 3 seconds. And Tina Murdoch can't get done. Serpolini, Esther DeRue, your top 3 in the division. Our female side of competition, Bailey Hooper currently in the lead, 4 from 4. Valerie Cohen competing at every single adaptive CrossFit Games so far. Cody Campbell jumping herself into 3rd position with a buffer this time around. For our men, it is Luke Reeson with a 2-point lead over, Luke Reeson with a big lead. It is actually 54 points. Alan Roach only has a 2-point lead over Vincent Cavazos. Again, expect Luke Reeson to punch out some pretty big numbers.
Yeah, you know, I mean, usually I would think with the thrusters, you're looking at a range of motion athlete. He's a very tall athlete. You can see him right there in the background. But he will be able to move the Echo bike greater than anyone else because of his limb length, because of his size. And then the strength element of the thruster, I think, is going to play well for him. So got to keep our eye on Luke for sure. And over on the ladies' side, Valerie Cohen right there, first to get back to her bike. 2 rounds in, that's sets of 4.
Our keys to success for Shark Tank, avoid the sharks.
Well, I mean, they're there, you know. So as we're talking about with the Shark Tank here, Valerie Cohen, again, trying to be smart about every single one of these early sets. I mean, everyone's going to move well through here. I mean, if you have the strength at all, you're going to be fine. But don't get lulled into this. There is a web to this one. And what you don't want to have happen is get sucked in too early. 9 minutes is actually way longer feeling than it feels like it should be on this one. Try to move yourself well, get through the middle, and then you're going to be able to do, then you want to do small sets on the thruster to keep that rest down.
Because we have only heats of 10, the entire division is here. It's all going to come down to placements. Where are you placing yourself within that first, second, and third segment of the 9 minutes? Obviously, you want to get out to a good lead, but are you pushing well enough throughout that to stay ahead, or are you going to play catch-up?
Well, I think, you know, you don't need to worry about trying to win the first 3 rounds. Again, the first 3 rounds is only 2, 4, 6. That's just 12 reps and 12 calories. Not a big deal. So when you start getting into the next 3 rounds, that you're going to really start to see if you've gone too hard and gotten too tired. That's going to put you into that 7th round, yeah, maybe 8, depending on how good of an athlete you are or what your abilities are.
Valerie Cohen, way faster on the bike than the thrusters.
And look at the way she's breathing. I mean, she's really getting fatigued here, and the last thing you want to do is be totally fatigued. I want her to use the Echo bike here as an active recovery. Again, she only has to beat the people that are out here on the floor. Doesn't have to compete with anyone else, and we're only at 3 minutes. So thinking about going at this pace and then trying to hold that pace for 6 minutes is going to be really tough.
The Adaptive CrossFit Games has been going for 5 years. This is the 6th as an outright competition. Valerie has competed at all 6. Trying to break down that leaderboard distance between herself and Bailey Hooper. Bailey looking for her 4th straight title. Cody Campbell in the background.
Bailey with that powerful pop from that bottom position. Wow, look at that.
You're Cody Campbell, you're behind Bailey Hooper, and you're getting through your reps, but you look in front of you, and Bailey Hooper's absolutely going nuts.
Well, and I think, look at the way she did that. That was a smart break. She moves well on those reps. Doesn't look like she's struggling at all. Nice little short rest for herself, and then gets herself back in, and again, sets of 4, final set of 4 right there. Now she can go back to the bike and hit a recovery segment, and do the best she can there and try to get herself ready for the next set, adding +2.
Luke Reeson having a look around. Don't worry, there's nothing to look at because you're out there on your own.
Well, he does have to watch for Vincent Cavazos back behind him because he's just ahead. So Luke needs to make sure he looks over his right shoulder.
Now, Reeson looks very comfortable and probably one of those athletes who could really kick on in the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, hopefully someone's telling Luke where everybody is. That's going to be really important.
Annette Rosa working through her thrusters. Reeson splitting some sets up. Cavazos in the background with that headband. Alan Roach in between them.
Cavazos right there, falling in from that lead. Was in that lead for a little bit, fell back into 3rd place. Dan Brady right there in the orange, right in the middle, has moved into that 2nd place position behind Luke Reeson. So Luke has moved himself back into that number 1 spot.
Reeson just looking back.
Oh, I see you, fellas. I see you.
But it's how much time have you got? You get 2, 3, 4 thrusters ahead at this weight. Potentially it could be that 20, 25 seconds.
Well, without a doubt. I mean, look at where we are now. We're 2/3 of the way through. Are you able, or have you saved enough gas in the tank to be able to keep the same pace? I love the fact that Luke right now is looking around to see where everybody is so he can adjust as he needs to.
People watching.
I mean, look at him. He looks like he's being chased by people. I mean, he kind of is, but it's hard to tell when you're on an Echo bike.
But he's not pushing himself to that red line position.
No, look at that. Shook his arms out, just dropped his hands off the handles. Down at the bottom, Bailey Hooper doing the exact same thing, watching her screen, looking back and forth every once in a while to see where all the other ladies are.
Cody Campbell onto the bike as well. Oh, Reeson looks like he's having a party there.
Either that or it looks like he stole something. He's trying to hide from everybody. He's running away. Like, no one sees that I grabbed that, right? I grabbed the 1st place spot. Now, this is exactly what Luke wants to see. Looking over at Vincent right there, Vincent looks exhausted. He looks tired. And when you're an athlete, you see another athlete trying to break down like that, you're like, all right, good, I broke you. Okay, cool.
Valerie Cohen on the left of screen. Your leader, Bailey Hooper, and Cody Campbell on the far right. They are your top 3 on the leaderboard. And they are the 3 with targets on their back. All 3 with a bit of a buffer back to the rest of the field of women. Luke Reeson, top left. He has a big lead, 54 points ahead of Alan Roach, who is behind him, and Vincent Cavazos, who is in the top right-hand corner of your screen.
Yeah, Vincent does not look very happy at all working through these thrusters. Luke Reeson looks like he's just kind of chilling out. He's knocking the reps down, but he's just kind of hanging out. Again, not needing to do more than he needs to, right? 30 seconds left to go for our athletes.
Bailey Hooper continuing her progress. Valerie Cohen just having a look at the clock and seeing exactly how much time she's got for her thrusters. Cody Campbell on the far right of the bottom corner of your screen. Oh, quick grab.
Oh,
and
wow.
Top 3 on the same set of thrusters.
I have never seen anyone with their head on a swivel as much as Luke Reeson in that.
Oh,
in that
it was crazy.
I mean, I've never seen that much looking around. Time, looking where everyone else is.
To the teenage division once again. The 2026 divisional CrossFit Games right here in San Jose, incorporating both the adaptive and the teenage divisions. So they are going to be taking on Shark Tank, 9-minute cap, and all presented by Tupu.
We have that 2 calorie and 2 rep increase, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, all the way up to wherever you get to in 9 minutes. Thrusters at 115 and 85 pounds for our men and women, and then we have the calories on the bike. 9-minute time cap for our athletes. I'll tell you what, we saw some heavy lifts by both our boys and our girls in this division. I think that weight is going to be really light, which means this is going to be very, very painful.
Our lane assignments for our first heat of our 16-17 division, and for our boys and girls taking on Shark Tank. Hopefully they've been doing their homework out the back and knowing exactly what they have to do. Our boys and girls underway.
And just like that, 2 thrusters. Done.
You
Took all of 10 seconds.
You hear the...
Right. And I mean, this really is the issue here. So 2 calories off the bike. We have our first round done in 25 seconds as our athletes are getting all off. You see the judges are resetting those echo bikes as we move into round number 2. 4 reps of our thrusters, 4 reps.
Ben Miller for the boys.
He
could not have launched himself off the bike far enough, because I think he actually got to the barbell in that leap. He was so fast.
I understand wanting to move quickly. However, we have 8 more minutes to go, my young athletes.
There he is. He's back again, all on his own. Bradley Bates also at the back in lane number 6. Dan Wilms lifting extremely well in upload earlier on, and that excellent lifting continuing. Zoe Fiala winning the FloElite Grit and Performance Award, presented on the floor earlier on today. And if we're talking about grit and performance, You need both if you want to do well in this one.
Oh, man. I mean, yeah, you're going to be grinding your teeth for sure on this particular event. It's just really, really nasty. Bradley Bates on the men's side. On the boys' side, you see him back there in the black shorts. This is where we start to get really dicey. We're only 2 minutes in. We have 7 minutes to go. And so what we need to start seeing from our athletes is strategically, how are they going to break up those reps? They don't need to do all of them unbroken. That's the first break we've seen right there from Ben Milner. Smart move, but as he's doing that, we see Bradley Bates in the back who just ran to his bike, and he's hopping on there right away. I want to see if Bradley is going to, if he's like gone over the line a little bit too much. I want to see how he's able to hold on to this pace, because it is crazy tough.
Cast our mind back to earlier in the week with the Masters division. So we're here, the 45-49 division, and they're getting to their final event. They just sent it a little bit too hard. I've got no doubts we're going to see something similar from some of our athletes on the floor.
We are so early in this event. We are only 1/3 of the way through. So we're starting to settle into larger sets, larger numbers on these on the thrusters and calories on the Echo bike. And it's just like if you're on a rower. Row 5 seconds slower, it feels like it's really slow, but you save a ton that you have to do work on the other element here. Now we are seeing Bradley Bates up in the top right-hand side. Look how wide his hands are. So he's trying to shorten up the range of motion. It does really demand now, because he's not going to be able to push very hard. Demands a lot of hip. So he's going to use his hips and use his legs a lot. Gets into that break. And hops himself back to the Echo bike.
Bradley Bates with a fairly decent lead. Is he going to start slowing down his calories on his Echo bike, or is he going to start splitting up his reps on his thruster more and resting more in that time with the barbell? Or do you slow your transition time down?
He's going to start. No, transition isn't a big deal. I mean, you want calories to go, so the transition has to be fast from the bar back to the bike. But once it gets on the bike, I think that's going to start to settle just a little bit. And he's already started making breaks. He's already started making breaks in his thruster set, so we're gonna continue to see that.
Bradley Bates, Glass City CrossFit, looking in really good shape. As Bill said, we're only halfway through the time cap. We got still half of that to go. Bradley Bates, top right of your screen. Ryan Perry to the bottom rights. Trading places with Isla Hill for the lead. This is the 16-17 division, the first of 2 heats for our older teenage division. We'll get to our younger athletes a little bit later on after heat number 2 for our 16-17s.
Ooh, that was a big break by Bradley up in the top right-hand corner. Now, granted, he's moved himself into that great position. He really needs to utilize it. He's got some time on his hands here. He's got some distance against the field. He needs to utilize that bike as a rest and try to recover himself a little bit so he's not so smoked on the thruster.
Ryan Perry, no rep there.
Tough no rep.
That left shoulder just seemed to buckle a little.
Yeah, there was definitely a not controlled even drive with that thruster.
Ryan Perry currently sitting in 12th position behind Zoe Fiala. Now getting the jump on Zoe Fiala. Start progressing your way into that top heat for the 3rd and final day of competition tomorrow here at the San Jose McHenry Convention Center. Bradley Bates has really put that lead on the rest of the field, and no one's gone anywhere near him.
Well, he's got about a 14-second lead right now on the rest of the field, so good position for him to be in. but he's got to be very aware of where everyone is. Now we're coming up to about 2 minutes and 15 seconds left. That's a great lead for him to be. He just needs to hold on to this position. Same thing on the thruster. He should do small sets and keep the rest small. Don't try to do a massive set here. Get a couple good reps. Don't be too fatigued so your rest is going to be too long.
Now coming onto those toes just a little bit. But as you said, small rep sets. Breathing very heavy. But needs to ensure he sits back a little bit more. That's a bit better on those heels. There we go. Bam.
So he did a set of 4, then a set of 3. Again, if he can get through here, he can recover on the Echo bike.
And everyone else has got to come chasing.
They got to come chasing. That means that they got to get through the thrusters.
In lane 7 for the females, Ryan Perry on the round of 14. Oh, have a go at this.
Wow.
Ryan Perry.
Is this her first round? What the heck? Look at that.
No, didn't you know it's a race?
Well, whatever happened on that last little tweak that happened on the last rep of the last round, that went out the window quick.
60 seconds remaining now for our older teenagers. This is heat number 1. Ryan Perry has absolutely smashed this.
Bradley Bates up in the top right-hand corner. Made it through his set of 12 on the thrusters. Now I can put it down on this bike. Again, we have another heat with these athletes. So if you're in the lead, you can't just think about who's on the floor. You have to think about who might be coming down the pipe in that next heat.
Noah Gunter working away hard, as is Tamar Shamroni. Bottom left of the screen, Perry finished with the thrusters and now needs to just send it for the last 10 seconds. Oh, this has been great from your right-hand side of the screen. Bradley Bates, Ryan Perry.
Wow.
Take a bow, will fall on the floor.
No, man, you know what? You deserve that lay on the ground. You totally deserve that. That was a fantastic set.
Oh, the roll around. Yeah, we know that one.
Yeah, that does not feel good.
No,
that
it
does not feel good.
It's for our women, our young girls in our 16-17 division. Kieran McManus leading the way by 25 points over Anna Katai and Leticia Sequeira. For the boys, Friso Van Saas ahead by 15 points over Emil Gotesh and Luan Tabuna, 330 points. This heat, however, has some very big human beings in it, especially on the male side of competition. And Redding Williams, Gemma interviewed him yesterday and it was like full stretch trying to interview him. And
I think Gemma needed a step stool for that one. You know what? We saw what it looked like in that last heat. You have to stay uncomfortable. You can't be afraid of it sucking because it's just going to. Break it up early, be aggressive on the bike in the beginning, but then pull back just a little bit. You want to be patient in those early rounds because it's going to get nasty in the second half of that 9-minute time cap. Then once you get to that last minute and a half, 2 minutes, that's when you start to attack.
can you go out and attack a little early?
Oh, you can. You won't be attacking at the end of it.
That's what I mean. Like Bradley Bates, he calculated risk. I've got to go here, put some separation. 1 calorie. Hey, it was worth it because
absolutely
it was 1 calorie. I don't think he had too much more in the tank.
No, but what was great about him is he rode the line enough to where, you know, he moved the bike. He didn't push the bike. He moved the bike. And the thrusters, I mean, that 115-pound thruster was not light. And he was really, really working on that. So hats off to him. I think that was a really good attack. And I think all these guys here, we're going to see a lot of the same thing
Oh, Redding Williams, being sent back straight away.
Get the mic. But you know what? It's still way early. It's okay. He's all right. He's got a lot he can do here.
He's going to be doing a lot with this Echo bike. But does he now put him into a sense of panic where you go, oh, now I've got to catch up that time that I've lost?
Well, I mean, there's probably a little bit of that. But again, we're not even in the 30 seconds have gone by. We have 8 minutes and 30 seconds left to go. We're okay.
Oh, another no rep from Redding Williams, and he's riding the line, but he's finding out pretty quickly how close that line is.
Now with Williams, you know, being that he's such a tall athlete, and he's not here on the screen, once you look at how tall he is, there are ways that you can shorten up that range of motion. There he is kind of lumbering out there, super tall. Go a little bit wider with his stance. That's going to help. I mean, he can go wider with that with his legs. That'll be okay. Go a little bit wider with his hands like we saw Bradley do in the last round or in the last heat. That'll shorten up that little bit of range of distance. But what he does have in his favor is he's one of the strongest athletes out there. So once we get into the larger sets, then he's going to be able to start to make a move. Again, very early in this event. We have 1 minute and 40 seconds in of this 9-minute time cap.
Redding Williams out of CrossFit Krypton. And if I know anything or two about CrossFit Krypton, it's a gym owner knows a thing or two about fitness.
And competition, right? Probably knows a little bit about competition too. I mean, he's only been the champ. Harrison Kennedy right there up in the front, leading the pack. Looking down the field at the other the other two guys that are on the bike with him. He's not the only one there, but he's the only one that has a hand up in the air as we're getting through these early rounds.
Now, we spoke a lot about this earlier in the week with the Masters divisions hitting the floor, but mass moving mass. Now, we've got some reasonably heavy thrusters. We've got the Echo bike. We've got Redding Williams, who's sitting there at 6'4", 220 pounds, and that's getting very close to that 100 kilo mark. That's big for a 17-year-old. At what point does he start using that mass to start progressing forward and start knocking off some competitors in this heat?
In this particular event, I think he can afford to move a little harder on the bike because it's going to be easier for him with just his limb lengths that he has. He's a big kid. He's got some long legs. It'll be all right. Now, he does seem to be having a problem with his judge. That's the last thing you want to do. You do not want to get into it with your judge. And I don't mean verbally. I mean where you just can't seem to read them. You're trying to ride, and you want to make sure that your reps are all counting, that you have good movement. But if you have a judge that's hypersensitive or really starts to make it tough on you, be aware of that so you're not missing reps.
Redding Williams already starting to pick off his competitors. He's already got 3 of them. So he's making a move. And these thrusters are looking very lightweight. Oh, here we go. Redding Williams. Now that move is starting to be made. Maybe it's not a bad thing.
Well, it's not. It does slow you down. We talked earlier about the first third of this event. You're going to get through the first couple rounds really quick, and everyone thinks that they're just racing through it. It's not a race at that point, though. That's just setting the stage for what's going to happen up on the last third of this event. So 4 minutes in, we got another 5 minutes. Those athletes and those young men and women that came out too hot and heavy, that's going to be how they're presenting. Bent over, extremely tired, not grabbing the bar, not getting those reps to count.
Kieran McManus.
Wow, rapid fire pace on those thrusters.
Very similar to Ryan Perry from the previous heat. McManus, 4 wins from 4 and dominating. 3rd consecutive CrossFit Game Teenage Division Championship for Kieran McManus. Only Dallin Pepper and Ty Jenkins have got 3. She competes again next year. She wins next year. She's the only person who gets 4.
I mean,
but in saying that, does she then qualify as an individual, as we've seen with Mel O'Brien, Emma Carey, Emma Lawson,
Olivia Kerstetter,
and miss out on that last year because you're so good? and you go into the individual competition?
I don't know. I guess
let's wait and see.
I guess we'll find out.
It's exciting.
Harrison Kennedy making his way back to the Echo Bike. Oh, and look at this. Oh my gosh, again, another no rep. And I think what it wasn't that his head didn't go through. He just put it up overhead and his arms never locked out. So he didn't show a lockout. He just let it go. Still put him in. He's still sitting in that third place position here in the heat.
Oh yeah, it's just impressive that you've put yourself in that hole. Kira McManus, talk about putting yourself in a hole.
Wow.
She is really hammering down.
Yeah, she looks really fatigued. Again, that's 6 minutes. We got another 3 minutes. 3 minutes left to go. This is where the athletes are going to start spending a lot of time on the thruster. The bike is going to be the bike. But once you get into those thruster sets, it's going to be a lot of time and a lot of reps.
Now, I'm not sure being 6'4" and getting onto an Echo bike, I know obviously the thruster, you've got to go a little bit further. I know short is more difficult on an Echo bike just because of the distance from getting from the seat to the handles and your feet and all that sort of thing. So having that extra reach to your benefit already, how does that benefit you? Oh, Redding Williams, he's chipped off.
He's trying.
More than half the field. Oh, look at that thruster. Beautiful movement, but he's being forced into really good movement now.
Well, we'll see if he can hold that. I mean, he has been forced into it, but he's had to do a lot of extra reps as well. He's got to keep his head on his shoulders. So we're coming up to about 2 minutes left to go. He's not moving at the speed that Harrison Kennedy is up in the front. You see Harrison right up in the front, who is also looking exhausted.
2 minutes remaining. Kira McManus, 14 rep lead. She is on fire. Lane number 6 for the girls. She's already got a 25-point lead.
Oh, what happened here? What happened here? I'm trying to see what he's got going on.
He got sent back again.
I think he miscounted. I was looking up at the judge, and the fingers were set.
Maybe he thought he was one rep ahead, or one set ahead of where he was. But now, Redding Williams, yes, he's done a whole lot of extra work, but he needs to put himself in a position now to finish as high as he can.
It's time to start going. We have 1 minute and 10 seconds, 1 minute 5 seconds left to go. He needs to put the pedal down on the bike. He needs to get through that bike. He needs to get his hands on that barbell and get some reps. Tallest athlete out there on the floor trying to make up all the distance and times and issues that are happening. Hand up in the air. First one to get the hand up. We'll see if he can get something out and get a couple reps out of it.
It is going to be a mad dash. The last 30 seconds coming. Who is going to launch themselves off? Oh!
Looking around to see what he can do. He's got to grab that bar and get to work here.
20 seconds. Can you go unbroken in the final sets? Oh, the speed, Redding Williams. Kira McManus, bottom right of your screen, continues on. Can Redding chip away more of those competitors in front of him? Here comes Harrison Kennedy.
Oh my goodness.
Hoya. Kira McManus, absolutely outstanding on the 16-17 division for the girls. Now 14 and 15 division. Roxy Rabane, Lexi Finn, Reese Morangiello are your leaders. And a big gap back from Roxy to Lexi. For the boys, it is Vinny Oliveira. Equal with Tamate McCall. It is down to placements. Vinny getting that win on Alameda, and also Upload. Ethan Ferreo in that third position, and Alfie Stott jumping from first down to fourth, but only just behind Ethan, 10 points back. Amber and Ariane. Girls must have, or the girls and the boys, they must have so much in common at this age. And no, it's not an easy age to get through, but if you've got this to go back on and you're at that level of performance that these athletes are, you've mentioned so many times over the last 5 days, this is the elite of this division here. So yes, they are from completely different places all around the world, but they must have so much in common at this age.
Well, I mean, you know, they're kids, right? I mean, kids are kids, and sport kids are sport kids. Yes, they have a lot in common. There is something unique to a kid that can go out and wants to train hard and push hard, and has a drive to want to be able to win, but they're still kids. And it's funny, I've competed in the Masters division myself. We'd be at the games and you see the teens hanging around. You take the barbells away, they're still just kids. Running around, being goofy, doing the thing, like it's a crack up. So
more so the boys and the girls.
Well, I mean,
because we're idiots.
Hey, I get it. I understand. I was there. I like to think that I'm still kind of there sometimes in my own mind.
Correct. Phoebe, Stina, and Tenley at this side of the San Jose McHenry Convention Center underway for our 14-15 division. Are we going to see something similar to what we've just seen in the previous two heats of our 16-17?
Without a doubt, we're going to see that. So we see all of our athletes flying to their bike, getting through that first set of 2 reps. And again, we're going up by 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, whatever, up until the 9-minute time cap. That's going to be reps on the thruster and calories on that Echo bike. It's really hard to tell. These first couple rounds, everyone's just setting the stage. You don't want to kill yourself on these early rounds, but you definitely want to keep yourself moving. It is very easy to do damage to yourself in these first 3 rounds just because you get lit up too hot, you're going out too fast, you're trying to do too much. Doesn't have to be that crazy, not this early. Over on the men's side, it looks like lane number 5, Enzo Avalera, making his way through. On the women's side, looks like 3, 4, and 5. Eva Dixon, Carla Ruiz, and Gia Griffith all moving through as well. Here we have the guys over here on their side. That's Corbin Riley just finishing up his set of thrusters. All the young men are on the bike, minus Simon Lurch that's up at the top, having some issues with those thrusters. Enzo still sitting in that first place position in lane number 5 for the boys. But I like the way that Enzo decided to take a break there. Now, it might take him out of the lead as we make our way back to the bike, but he's bringing that needle down just a little bit. A little bit of a rest. I see him walking back, a little jog back to the bike. You can see him down at the very left-hand side of your screen there.
You talk about the needle for a second. The needle wasn't moving very much earlier on with Upload because going for that 2-rep lift every single time. This needle's going in one direction rapidly.
Well, yeah, I mean, the tendency and the ease is to put that needle and bury it into the red. The problem is if you do that, you are going to bury yourself. We saw the damage that it did to our 16 to 17-year-old boys and girls. If you ride too close to the sun, you'll burn, but you got to be as close as you can without burning. So it is literally riding and threading that needle all the way through.
And you talk about that damage, not just in this event at the end of day 2. What sort of damage does it do for tomorrow's events when you've got to pick yourself up and finish strong?
These guys are young, they're fine. They'll be fine. I mean, their legs are going to be a little smoked, without a doubt. But again, lots of training that has gone into all these athletes that are out here. They do have youth to their advantage, and I think they'll be fine. Get them some good food tonight, get them some good rest, and they're going to be okay.
3.5 minutes already down. Carla Ruiz, lane number 4. Your leader on the female side of competition for our 14-15 division, Enzo Oliveira. For the boys on the opposite side, Enzo in that black shirt to the far left of your screen. Riley Taylor. Just alongside. I know misery loves company, but is it easier having someone alongside you going through the same thing at the same time?
Man, I don't know. This is one of those ones where you just go head down and just go until the buzzer rings. You know, I mean, I don't want to be looking at anybody else. I don't want to be thinking about anyone else. I do like to see if there's someone that I'm racing that all of a sudden they break down. If I can see that out of the corner of my eye, I'll love that. Now, Gia Griffith right here, you know, she was talking earlier about wanting to improve gymnastics and her cardio. Made a specific point about saying cardio. Well, here's your cardio. We're going to test it and see what it turns out to look like.
And the only way to get better at 9-minute capped events is to do 9 minute
capped events. Yep.
9 minutes in training. Evie Dixon in the background is your leader of the 14-15 first heats. It's Carla Ruiz. Behind her is Gia Griffith in that light blue tank top. Enzo Oliveira. Imagine being introduced to thrusters at this age.
Well, it's kind of like young kids. They like burpees. They think burpees are fun. Burpees are fun. You know, they teach them thrusters early, and they won't know that either. But I am seeing a difference between this group versus the older kids. The older kids, I think, I mean, you got to admit, there's a little bit of ego that starts to build up as you start getting a little bit older. These guys, I think they did go out hard, but they're kind of reserved now. They pulled back just a touch. You can see Enzo right there, not hammering the Echo bike, moving the Echo bike. And I'm actually, I'm liking the fact that I am seeing a lot more breaks on the thrusters for these athletes. The rests aren't as long, but you can tell that they're trying to get through them and knock them off a rep at a time.
Amber taking a quick break. Change in our females. Eva Garcia de Alba moving into the lead, just ahead of Carla Ruiz. Andrea Schmiedel is sitting in third. Simon Lersch trying to finish off those thrusters. As Edward Cote gets those bike calories, completes.
I mean, look at that. 1 minute left to go, and we still have beautiful movement patterns on those thrusters.
Eva Garcia de Alba level now with Carla Ruiz. Andrea Schmiedel trying to play some catch up. There's Simon Lish moving back from the thrusters to the bike, top right of your screen. Eva Garcia de Alba has taken the lead, but only just. Oriana Choquette back to the thrusters, bottom left of your screen. 20 seconds remaining. And there's a lot of resting out on that floor, and you haven't got time to do that.
Oh, Enzo gets a no rep on the top left corner. Again, just not showing the support up overhead. Ooh, and I didn't get depth on that one.
And that was clever,
Ooh.
holding onto the bar and doing an extra squat. Oh.
Wow.
But great judging, spot on call. Yeah, he was riding the line. He just didn't want to go that 1 inch deeper than he had to.
That's okay to ride. Hey, this is sport. You know, no sense doing extra work if you don't need to do extra work.
Teenagers, assume the position. And Yelena Simons, Roxy Rabane with a healthy lead, 70 points over Lexi Finn. And Reese Morangiello back 5 points, another 5 back to Annabelle Paquettes. For our boys, Vinny Oliveira equal with Tamate McCall. Ethan Ferreo back 45 points. Underway. Shark Tank. This is the final event for day number 2 for the final heats of our 14-15 boys.
We have our 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 and continuing thrusters at 115 and 85 for our thrusters. And then calories on the EchoBite, 9-minute AMRAP. We've seen some fireworks as we've gone through this, really showing how much pain these kids can take, because there is a lot. This is a very painful, tough event, but a great way to finish up the second day of competition for our 14 to 15-year-olds.
It's going to set us up for a very good end of competition tomorrow afternoon. Our top 3 getting onto the podium. And midline stabilization has to be key. How about a teenager cleaning up his mess before he leaves? That never, that never happens.
Well, they aren't clean, so not going to happen again.
Alex Honore at the bottom of your screen. Declan Campbell alongside Vinny Oliveira, who is leading the charge. Oliveira heading back once again. Roxy Rabane continuing to dominate not just the final event of the day, but the leaderboard as well. Reese Morangiello, she is in lane number 8. Trying to catch Lexi Finn. Our current standings for our females. It is your top three, but in a jumbled order. Lexi Finn with some work to do if she wants to get back into that second position. And as the leaderboard stands, it is 70 points back from Roxy to Lexi, and back another 5 points to Reese. Akira Taanghui trying to play some catch up on the leaderboard. Your leader, Vinny Oliveira, back to Samate McCall. Kira sitting in 7th. And only 20 points out of 3rd position. This could be a really good event for him. Ethan Ferreo, another round of thrusters completes.
It's a lot of work on that echo bike right there, getting that nice little shot of wind, working on the hairdo.
Ethan Ferreo.
Now Ethan is taking a page out of that. Let me just take this as a recovery. He is one of the taller athletes out there for sure. Using his length to his advantage, but look at him, really starting to slow everything down. Slow down the breath, slow down that heart rate.
The Luke Reeson look around the room scenario as well. Ethan done. Roxy back for more thrusters.
But Akira sitting as your number one. We saw him just kind of was right behind Ethan, right in the way of that handlebar. Thanks a lot, handlebar. Top left-hand corner.
Kira at the back, Ethan in front on the top left of your screen. Lexi Finn, bottom left of your screen as well. Roxy Rabane, your leader. She is dominating bottom right of your screen, and Vinny Oliveira to the top right.
I'll tell you what, Roxy looks way too comfortable.
She's got 8 reps.
Way too comfortable.
She's got 8 reps ahead of Lexi as well. Reese Morangiello in the conversation. Three minutes remaining. We're nearly at that time where we need to hammer down. Akira Taanghui. If you're going to push, now's as good a time as any to move up that leaderboard into the top 3.
Well, you know, we're sitting at 6 minutes out of this 9-minute time cap, so time now is starting to get where it's going to get dicey. Who's going to be able to hold on to the bar for a longer period of time? The less rest you can take, the better, obviously, but it's time to really get after it. So if you get a chance to grab a hold of those handles on the Echo bike, it's time to start putting down some calories and making things happen.
There's Dante Hernandez. Podium placements up for grabs tomorrow afternoon. This is their 3rd last opportunity to try and grab as many points as possible. Vinny Oliveira moving back into the lead. Some good pacing from him. There he is, have a look at him. That bounce out of the bottom.
And that's just fantastic position. Chest is nice and upright. You can see that perfect front rack position. Final 90 seconds here for our athletes. Ethan at the top right, left-hand side of your screen there, doing really well on those thrusters, but he's just not able to catch. He's got to get through those and get himself back on the bike.
Final minutes coming your way. Millie Strawn in lane 10, starting to really push. Lexi Finn, bottom left. Lexi Finn, one of our taller athletes in the field. That is a long way to squat and press.
Final 30 seconds. There's your leader into the next round. We'll see how many he decides to hold on to. Again, heat behind him and a heat in front of him that he's going to have to think about. Oh, he drops it with 5 seconds left to go.
Roxy goes back, picks the bar up, and not sure if Roxy got that last one, but she got the win. Vinny Oliveira, the youngsters, showing us how it's done. But as you mentioned before, Vinny and Roxy with such great movement already, 14, 15 years of age. Big things coming for both of them.
Absolutely. Wow, that was wild.
Lane assignments. For our final heat of the day, we are back to our adaptive division. That is the upper 2 point to wrap things up. Elaine DeRocco with that absolutely cracking start to competition. She is leading the way just ahead of Christina Mazzullo and Julia Habestam. And for our men, it is Anthony Di Lorenzo ahead of Lloyd Burns by 10 points, 4 points back to Josue Maldonado. David Leclerc equal with Josue. So this is going to be an absolute dogfight to the end as well in this division. Our last few minutes of our second day of competition. And it is going to be all guns blazing for our upper 2 point division.
And just like we've seen all afternoon with Shark Tank, going up by 2 reps, 2 on the thrusters, 2 on the calories on the Echo Bike.
Our upper 2 points. It is going to be athletes who can establish 2 points of contact with the equipment, either through some grips or straps or some attachments. And see the attachments going on and the straps going on as well. Compared to our upper 1 point, who only have 1 point of contact to the equipment. Ava Sayadi to the bottom right of your screen.
Wow, and she was out of the saddle the whole time. A lot of extra work on the legs when you don't want to do it. Now, I know a lot of times people will come out of the seat to try to use their body use the body weight to try to drop those cranks.
So after seeing this 17 times already, what advice have you got for our upper 2 points as they try and navigate the tough Shark Tank event that is going to finish the day for day number 2?
I mean, it's the same thing we've been talking about all day long. You have basically 3 segments to this event. You have the first 3 minutes, in which where all these short rounds are going to be occurring. After that, you have the meat of the event, which is trying to settle in, where you really need to start thinking about how you're breaking up your sets of your thrusters. And then the last 3 minutes, it's just about really starting to push there. If you are not able to push at the end, that means that you went out way too hard in the beginning. You should, hopefully, we'll be able to know exactly where you are by that 4th, 5th minute right in there, to be able to tell if you're going to be able to push and fight at this event.
Christina Mazzullo ahead on the leaderboard as well, ahead of Julia Halberstam, who just moves onto the bike. Julia in 3rd currently. Again, out of the saddle from Mazzullo. Logan Torrance, the bottom of your screen. Josue Maldonado, one of those top 3 spots in the blue shirt. Equal with David Leclerc. Lloyd Burns. Strap goes on that right arm for Lloyd Burns. Lloyd Burns out of Motor City CrossFit in Michigan. Perrine Muller finishing off another set on the Rogue Echo bike. Our ladies, it is Christina Mazzullo, Elaine DeRocco, and Julia Halberstam leading the way. For the men, it is Anthony De Lorenzo, Josue Maldonado, and Milian Danimal, your top 3. Now keep in mind, we still have halfway to go on this time cap. As we've seen with the other 17 heats right across the day today, anything can happen. Have a look at the 16-17 division.
She's right, totally. Julia Halberstam right there. Again, you can see about just how much of that air is being pushed with that fan bike. The Echo bike, just, you know, I want to say normally it's the worst thing out there, but when you pair that with thrusters, then it becomes the active recovery. Anthony De Lorenzo up in the top left corner of your screen.
We should have a poll. Athletes, what was worse, the thrusters or the Echo bike? That'd be an interesting poll.
You know what? I think it depending if it ended up being a little bit different with how the Echo bike was set up, I think you'd have a split set. I think you'd have a split decision. But here, I think everyone would say the thrusters. Everyone used the bike as the rest. Can't rest on thrusters.
Luke Reeson definitely did.
No.
Elaine DeRocco now moving into the lead ahead of Julia Halberstam and Christina Mazzullo. Christina DeVries being joined by Joe McCreath on the bike and Ava Sayari as your top three. Mazzullo to the back in the white shirt. Julia Halberstam just in front with that blonde hair. And in front of her, it is your leader, Elaine DeRocco. And jumping back into the lead, but by a millisecond, it is Mazzullo and Elaine DeRocco.
Wow.
Just a glance over and see what's happening down there.
You know, you got to take a look at that too. Now, I do like the fact that we see these athletes that are battling. They are taking a look, see where everyone is as they're going down right before they grab the handles on that bike. But once they get on in the saddle, look where their eyes are, either on the screen or closed. Elaine DeRocco, bottom right-hand side of the screen. Christina Mazzullo, same thing, doing that same cadence as she does.
It's so interesting, the different techniques. We've probably seen about 20 or 30 different techniques.
Yeah, totally.
Right across our 350 athletes across both divisions, the adaptive and the teenage.
Josue Maldonado, you see him there in the blue shirt. Lane number 8 back on the Echo bike. About 90 seconds left to go for these athletes. Now this is like where you decide, all right, we're at the end now. I need to not worry about how bad it hurts, but I need to figure out how many of these either calories or reps I'm going to be able to get. So if once you get the bar, it's just time to go to that really dark place. "45 seconds remaining."
Logan Torrance's thrusters top right looking very good, especially at this late stage. Henry Dunn pushing hard. Elaine DeRocco just falling behind. No, jumping ahead. Halberstam and Mazzullo. Level. In second place now, Elaine DeRocco. There she is, bottom left. We've only got 10 seconds remaining. Mazzullo. Oh, we've got judges' hands in the air. We're not sure what reps are what. Elaine DeRocco looks like she has taken it out. And Lady's not in a rush to get moving either.